Side target from Castillo. Corella kicks and fires. Swinging a fly ball into straightaway center field and deep. Simmons going back on it, onto the track. It's over his head, and it one hops up against the wall. Wilson around first, digs for second, and he's in there safely standing with a double. Two outs. Corella from the belt. Here's the pitch on the way. Swinging a flare into left. That's down for a base hit. Wilson being waved home. Racing to the plate. He will score. Lewis with an RBI single. Brett has 3 RBIs on the day. The Blue Crabs have a 9-3 lead. He's into his motion. The payoff pitch. Fastball in there. Strike 3 called over the inside corner. The pitch. Swing and a fly ball hit pretty well to left center field. Chavez races back, turns, looks, and it's gone. Michael Snyder. Hello again, everybody, and welcome to Blue Crabs on Deck. I'm Jim Taraboke. We're getting you set for Game 2 of this 3-game series between the Long Island Ducks and the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. The first pitch is set for 6:35 this evening. Last night, it was an ugly game for the Blue Crabs. It was one of those games where you just have to forget about it, come back to the ballpark the next day, and try to just forget everything that happened from the night before. The Blue Crabs last night falling by the final of 15-2. Long Island tied their season high with 15 runs scored and set a new season high with 22 hits, the second most hits in a game that they've had since 2011, where they had 25 hits in a game back in that year. The Ducks scoring 5 runs in the top of the second, 2 runs in the third, and 6 runs in the top of the fourth. Mark Minicozy led the way, 5 for 6 on the night with a pair of doubles and an RBI. Dan Lyons drove in 2 with a 2-run home run. Lentini drove in 3 runs, including a solo home run. Darren Downs picked up the win, going 6 innings, allowing 2 earned runs and striking out 6. Last night, Mike Blank also had 4 hits. He drove in 3 with a 3-run home run. It was all the Ducks last night. Long Island winning their 50th game, 50-33 now on the year. They're 10-3 here in second half play. Game number 85 for the Blue Crabs, who are 31-53, 5-10 here in second half play. And it is Game 2 of this 3-game series. The Blue Crabs, of course, stopping home for a quick 3-game set before they hit the road on Monday to take on the Bridgeport Bluefish. And, you look at this Blue Crabs team last night, was no indication really of how they've played here after the All-Star break. All the games that they've played in have been close. They've all been contested and have been the Blue Crabs have been playing well in all of those games except for last night. So you take away last night, just take that out of your mind, and you come back here tonight to the ballpark if you're the Blue Crabs with Darryl Thompson on the mound and get ready to play a good game and try to win Game 2 of this 3-game series. We will step aside. When we come back, we will talk about tonight's pitching matchup. This is Blue Crabs on Deck on the Legal ID Shield Southern Maryland Blue Crabs Baseball Network.
ID Shield, a division of Legal Shield, continues the mission of providing identity protection to more than 1 million people in 50 states. and 4 Canadian provinces. Teamed with Kroll, no other company combines the expertise of the most knowledgeable identity protection specialists in the industry. The team of dedicated individuals does whatever it takes for as long as it takes to keep you and your family safe. For more information, log on to www.legalshieldassociate.com/BowareMJ or contact Marcellus and Jeanette Boware at 571-337-3588.
Back here on Blue Crabs on Deck, I'm Jim Tarabokia. 6:35, first pitch between the Long Island Ducks and the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. Taking a look at tonight's pitching matchup, the right-hander Daryl Thompson is on the mound tonight for Southern Maryland, 3-6 on the year with a 5.35 ERA. And for Daryl, 15th game, 14th start, 75 and 2/3 innings pitched, 85 hits, 51 runs, 45 of those runs earned, 16 walks, and 46 strikeouts. Thompson picked up the win his last start on the 18th at Lancaster, 6 2/3, 3 earned runs, 5 hits, and he struck out 3. Last time he faced the Ducks was back on the 10th. He suffered the loss, giving up 11 hits, while also surrendering 3 earned runs in 4 1/3 innings pitched. Thompson will be pitching his 81st start in his professional career here in the Atlantic League. He's thrown 87 games in his Atlantic League career. So Thompson will be matched up with Bruce Kern, the right-hander, who's having a good season, 4-1. He's made 10 starts, 17 games, 56 1/3 innings pitched, 15 earned runs, 16 walks, 56 strikeouts. Opponents are hitting .243 off of the right-hander, who comes in with a 2.40 ERA. He's won 4 straight. In his last start against Somerset on the 17th, he picked up the win, going 5 innings, allowing 2 earned runs, 2 walks, and striking out 4. He pitched against Southern Maryland back on the 10th in that 9-6 win that day, picking up the win, 6 innings, 3 earned runs, 8 hits, 4 walks, and 7 strikeouts. Very good pitcher on the mound. Bruce Kern, the right-hander, 4-1, a 2.40 ERA up against Daryl Thompson, 3-6, 5.35 ERA. Tonight's pitching matchup. Coming up next, our player interview segment here on Blue Crabs on Deck. This is the Legal ID Shield, Southern Maryland Blue Crabs Baseball Network.
Legal issues can mean trouble for anyone, no matter how much money you have. Legal Shield can help with a range of legal services. Legal Shield believes in educating and serving their members to improve their lives. Legal Shield partners with providing law firms across the United States and 4 provinces to help you with any issue you can think of. For more information, contact Marcellus and Jeanette Boware at 571-337-3588 or log on to www.legalshieldassociate.com/BowareMJ.
This is Cody Eppley, and you're listening to Blue Crabs Baseball on the Blue Crabs Baseball Network.
I'm Sasha with the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs, here with Gary Brown on Blue Crabs on Deck. Gary, you just came off the DL. Talk about what it's like being back. What does it mean to you about being back in the lineup?
Yeah, it's awesome. Actually, it was my first DL stint I've ever had, so it was different in that aspect. But it was good to be able to go rehab and try and fix a little ailing injury I had.
Definitely. What have you been doing to maintain and just keep healthy now?
Yeah, so my hip had been bothering me, so I've been trying to strengthen the muscles around the hip and just working hard every day, getting up early and stretching and making sure I'm loose before I come to the field.
Talk about last night's game. You hit a 2-run bomb. What have you been doing? You've been on a tear lately.
Yeah, just relax. I was able to go home and kind of clear my mind, and that's been helping me.
Now, you were drafted as a center fielder, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So, what is the biggest challenge going from an outfielder to an infielder now?
It's difficult, in its own right. Most plays in the outfield are low stress, I guess. You're more trying to prevent the big inning. And in the infield, you get a lot more opportunities, and so it's a little more stressful. But luckily, I grew up playing infield, so it was more of a hiatus than anything.
Right. Now, you sometimes go from second base also to shortstop. How do you feel about taking on those different roles?
It's no big deal, to be honest. I didn't start playing only outfield until my junior year of college, so up until that point, every day was kind of different, showing up to the field, seeing where I was hitting and what position I was playing. So it's kind of just taking me back.
Do you lean on any of the players in the clubhouse to talk to, to get you better? And there's some people that have been in the big leagues as well.
Yeah, no, definitely. When Lombardozzi was here, he was, talking to him a little bit, and even just Garcia. I know he didn't have the MLB experience, but you can learn from anybody. And Garcia's been helping me a lot in the infield too, with just any mistakes I make, and watching me and helping me out.
Now, on your time off, as well as being on the DL, what is the biggest adjustment you've made? Your approach at the plate, if any, to.
Just relaxing, I feel like I was really stressed out the first half, and, with my hip bothering me, I couldn't really figure out what was going on, and so I'm just excited to almost have a clean start, a fresh start with the second half and with All-Star break over and everything.
What do you think you guys need to do to, get on pace for the playoffs, the second half?
I feel like we're onto something here. We're starting to click better as a team, and we want to win, and I think that's starting to show.
Well, thank you, Gary. And the Game 2 against Long Island tonight at 6:35.
ID Shield is the best way to protect your identity. If you become a victim of identity theft, ID Shield spends up to $5 million to do everything that it can to restore your identity. ID Shield is dedicated to your safety. Their identity specialists are focused on protecting you. They provide you with the services that walk you through all the steps to protect yourself. ID Shield monitors all of your personal information from social security numbers, credit cards, and bank accounts. ID Shield monitors everything from your passport, email, phone numbers, driver's license information, and much more. ID Shield is the only company that is partnered with Kroll, the worldwide leader in theft investigative services. ID Shield partner with Kroll protects the identities of more than 1 million people in 50 states and 4 Canadian provinces. For more information, call 571-337-3588 or log on to www.legalshieldassociate.com/BowareMJ.
This is Jeremy Owens, manager of the Blue Crabs. Thanks for listening to Blue Crab Baseball. Now back to the game.
Back here on Blue Crabs on Deck, it is time now for our out-of-town scoreboard segment. And as we always do, we will start tonight in the Atlantic League. And of course, last night, everybody in action throughout the Atlantic League, and here tonight, the York Revolution and the Sugar Land Skeeters at Constellation Field will do battle in Game 2 of that series. 6:05 first pitch, Texas time. The New Britain Bees and the Bridgeport Bluefish at Harbor Yard, 6:12 first pitch. And at 7 o'clock, the Somerset Patriots and the Lancaster Barnstormers will do battle from Clipper Magazine Stadium. Some games already in action: Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, San Francisco, and New York. The Giants and the Yankees on the Major League Baseball side of things. Elsewhere around baseball, the Indians and the Orioles will play tonight. 7:05 first pitch from Oriole Park at Camden Yards. Cleveland 56-39, Orioles 55-40. Josh Tomlin, the right-hander, will get the start. 10-2, a 3.34 ERA. Picked up his 10th win of the year last Sunday against the Twins. He'll do battle with Kevin Gausman, the right-hander, 1-7, 4.05 ERA. San Diego and Washington, 7:05 first pitch from Nationals Park. San Diego 42-55. Washington 57-40. Edwin Jackson, the right-hander, starting for the Padres, 1-1, 4.76 ERA. Max Scherzer 10-6, 2.94 ERA in his past 9 starts, dating back to June 1st. He has a 1.61 ERA with 81 strikeouts and just 13 walks. He will throw for the Nationals tonight. Arizona and Cincinnati, 7:10 first pitch from Great American Ballpark. Arizona 40-56. Cincinnati 37-59. Robbie Ray, the left-hander, 5-8, 4.49 ERA. Up against Kavis Sampson, the right-hander, 0-1, 5.51 ERA, throwing for the Reds. The Cubs and the Brewers, Chicago 58-37, Milwaukee 40-54. 7:10 first pitch from Miller Park. It'll be John Lackey, the right-hander, 7-6, 3.75 ERA. Up against Zach Davies, the right-hander, 6-4, 3.79 ERA, a 2.95 ERA over his last 13 starts. Cubs and the Brewers tonight. Detroit and Chicago. The Tigers 51-46, White Sox 46-50. 7:10 first pitch from U.S. Cellular Field. Matt Boyd, the left-hander, 1-2, 4.91 ERA. Up against Chris Sale, the left-hander, 14-3, 3.18 ERA, throwing for the White Sox. The Angels and the Astros. 7:10 first pitch from Minute Maid Ballpark. Los Angeles of Anaheim 43-53. Houston 52-44. Jared Weaver 8-7, 5.02 ERA, throwing tonight. The right-hander for the Angels. Colin McHugh, the right-hander for the Astros, 6-6, 4.25 ERA. Minnesota and Boston, 7:10 first pitch. The Twins 36-60. Red Sox 54-40. 7:10 first pitch from Fenway Park. Ricky Nolasco, the right-hander, 4-8, 5.02 ERA, throwing against the left-hander David Price, 9-7, 4.36 ERA. New York and Miami, the Mets 51-44. Marlins 52-44. 7:10 first pitch from Marlins Park. Jacob deGrom, the right-hander, 6-4, 2.38 ERA. Up against Jose Fernandez for the Marlins, 11-4, 2.53 ERA, 168 strikeouts. Fernandez fanning 14 batters in his last outing against the Phillies. The Dodgers and the Cardinals tonight, 7:15 first pitch from Busch Stadium. Los Angeles 54-44. St. Louis 52-44. Kenta Maeda, the right-hander, 8-7, 3.25 ERA. Up against Mike Leake, 7-7 with an ERA at an even 4. He will throw for the Cardinals. Maeda throwing for the Dodgers, respectively. Texas and Kansas City, the Rangers are 55-42. Royals 48-47. 7:15 first pitch from Kauffman Stadium. Cole Hamels, the left-hander, 10-2, an ERA at an even 3. Up against Yordano Ventura, 6-7, 4.97 ERA. Atlanta and Colorado, an 8-10 start. The Braves are 33-64. Rockies 45-51. 8-10 start from Coors Field. Matt Whistler throwing for the Braves, the right-hander, 4-9, 4.67 ERA. Up against Tyler Anderson, 2-3, 3.43 ERA, the left-hander for the Rockies. Tampa Bay and Oakland, a 9:05 start. The Rays 38-58. Athletics 43-54. 9:05 start from the Oakland Coliseum. Drew Smiley, the left-hander, 2-11, a 5.64 ERA. The left-hander for the Rays throwing against Kendall Graveman, the right-hander for the Athletics, 6-6, 4.25 ERA. And a final from earlier today, the Mariners beating up on the Blue Jays by the final of 14-5. Seattle 14 runs on 19 hits, Toronto 5 runs on 8 hits. The winning pitcher was the starter Iwakuma, his 11th win of the year, 6 innings, 2 earned runs, 4 hits, 3 strikeouts, 3 walk. LeBlanc picking up an inning out of 3 innings out of the bullpen. R.A. Dickey suffering the loss. He's now 7-11, 3 innings, 6 earned runs, 7 hits, 3 strikeouts, and 1 home run allowed. Nelson Cruz with 2 home runs today. He's got 25 on the year, while Kyle Seager with his 19th home run of the season. RBIs from Nelson Cruz. He had 7 RBIs today. Aoki had 2. Seth Smith with an RBI, his 43rd of the year. And Kyle Seager with 2 RBIs. He now has 65 on the season. That does it for the out-of-town scoreboard. Back to wrap things up after this on the Blue Crabs on Deck. This is the Legal ID Shield, Southern Maryland Blue Crabs Baseball Network. Crabs fans, come out to the ballpark August 17th against the Bridgeport Bluefish. It's Coors Light Can Do Wednesday. $3 Coors Light beers from 5:30 to the middle of the 5th inning. For more information, call 301-638-9788 or log on to somdbluecrabs.com.
ID Shield is the best way to protect your identity. If you become a victim of identity theft, ID Shield spends up to $5 million to do everything that it can to restore your identity. ID Shield is dedicated to your safety. Their identity specialists are focused on protecting you. They provide you with the services that walk you through all the steps to protect yourself. ID Shield monitors all of your personal information from social security numbers, credit cards, and bank accounts. ID Shield monitors everything from your passport, email, phone numbers, driver's license information, and much more. ID Shield is the only company that is partnered with Kroll, the worldwide leader in theft investigative services. ID Shield partner with Kroll protects the identities of more than 1 million people in 50 states and 4 Canadian provinces. For more information, call 571-337-3588 or log on to www.legalshieldassociate.com/BowareMJ.
Back here on Blue Crabs on Deck, time to wrap things up. Bruce Kern, the right-hander, on the mound tonight for the Ducks. He is 4-1 with a 2.40 ERA up against Darryl Thompson, 3-6, 5.35 ERA throwing for the Blue Crabs. A 15-2 win last night for the Ducks as they banged out a season-high 22 hits and tied a season-high with 15 runs scored. Their 50th win of the year, 10-3 here in second-half play. The Southern Maryland Blue Crabs, 31-53, 5-10 in second-half play, look to avenge that loss. Player to watch here tonight. Keep an eye out, of course, for Bryant Nelson, who is now, after going 1 for 4 last night, 10 hits away from overtaking Jeff Nettles' mark of 1,052 hits, the most hits in Atlantic League history. When we come back, the first pitch between the Long Island Ducks and the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. This is the Legal ID Shield Southern Maryland Blue Crabs Baseball Network.
Blue Crabs fans, is your brand, business, or organization looking to increase exposure and gain new and diverse consumers in this Southern Maryland market? Look no further than the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs and Regency Furniture Stadium. Our business partners are afforded unparalleled access to our consumer base of fans from attractive and potentially lucrative demographics with disposable income. Call today at 301-374-1133 for more information or to set up a consultation.
Lay back and smell the sun. Warm up the Georgia pie. Feels so good to be taking it easy. Why would I ever leave? 'Cause I know I got some good friends that live down the street. Got a good...
This is Justin Berg. Thanks for listening to Blue Crabs Baseball. Now back to the game.
Blue Crabs look to avenge a tough loss last night, losing by the final of 15-2. Long Island, on the other side, banging out a season-high 22 hits, tying a season-high 15 runs scored. It is Game 2 of a 3-game series between the Long Island Ducks and the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. This is Southern Maryland Blue Crabs baseball, and it begins right now. An outside target from Castillo. Corella kicks and fires. The wide, here's the payoff. Outside corner, got him looking. Strike 3, a fastball. So from the belt, runner not going. The pitch is swung on, grounded to short. Lombardozzi charges. He scoops, shovels to second one. Nelson's turn. On to first is in time. A double play. The pitch. Swinging a fly ball. Off in the air to right and deep. Repko going back. He turns, looks, and it's gone. He's into his motion. The payoff pitch. Fastball in there. Strike three called over the inside corner. Southern Maryland Blue Crabs Baseball is presented by Legal ID Shield. Hello again, everybody, and welcome inside Regency Furniture Stadium. The lights are on. It is a mix of sun and clouds up above. I am Jim Tarabokia. Welcome inside the Legal ID Shield Blue Crabs Baseball Network. Last night, the Long Island Ducks beating the Blue Crabs by a big final of 15-2 in Game 1 of this three-game series. Long Island tied a season high with 15 runs scored and set a new season high with 22 hits. The Ducks scored 5 runs in the top of the second, 2 in the third, and 6 runs in the top of the fourth. Mark Minikazi went 5 for 6 with an RBI. Dan Lyons drove in 2 with a 2-run home run, and Felante Lentini drove in 3 runs, including a solo home run last night. Darren Downs picked up the win on the mound, going 6 innings, allowing 2 earned runs and striking out 6. The Ducks holding the advantage over the Blue Crabs this season at 12-3. They come in having won 7 of their last 8, while the Blue Crabs on the other side look to avenge that loss from last night. They check in with a record of 31-53 overall, but keep in mind, it matters what happens here in the second half, and for Southern Maryland, they're 5-10 right now, and they currently sit in last place in the Freedom Division. The Ducks with 50 wins, 50-33, 10-3 here in second half play. Marcellus and Jeanette Boulware are both proud U.S. military veterans and our Legal ID Shield benefits consultants who help guide you in providing legal protection to the Southern Maryland area. For more information, call 571-337-3588 or log on to LegalShieldAssociate.com/Boulware MJ. Blue Crabs tonight with Paint the Park Pink Night wearing the pink jerseys. They have taken the field. We'll send it down to field level now for our national anthem.
Fans, please rise. And gentlemen, please remove your caps and welcome Ellen Nelson as she honors America with the singing of our national anthem.
Very nice job tonight on the national anthem. Blue Crabs have taken the field, as I said, wearing The pink jerseys tonight with the white pants, baby blue caps, navy blue brims. And it's time for tonight's Legal ID Shield starting lineups. First for the Long Island Ducks, wearing the gray jerseys with the gray pants and the black caps, positioned in the first base side dugout. Managed by Kevin Baez, checking in with a record of 50-33, having won 7 of their last 8. Anthony Vega, the left fielder, will lead things off. Velant Lentini, the right fielder, bats second. Delta Cleary Jr., the center fielder, bats third. Cody Puckett cleans up, batting fourth. He's the third baseman. Dan Lyons bats fifth. He's the shortstop. Mark Minikazi, the first baseman, bats sixth. Tyler Colvin back in the lineup tonight. He's the DH, batting seventh. Mike Blank, the catcher, bats eighth. Matt Wessinger rounds out the lineup. He is playing second base and batting ninth. Vega, Lentini, Cleary Jr., Puckett, Lyons, Minikazi, Colvin, Blank, and Wessinger, the lineup for the Long Island Ducks. For the Blue Crabs, checking in with a record of 31-53, 5-10 here in second half play. Again, the pink jersey tonight, paint the park pink night, white pants, baby blue caps, navy blue brims, positioned in the third base side dugout, managed by Jeremy Owens. Antoine Richardson will lead things off playing left field. Darby Myers, the right fielder, bats second. Bryant Nelson batting third. He's the third baseman. The DH tonight is Alfredo Marte. He bats fourth. Gustavo Molina catching, batting fifth. Zach Wilson bats sixth. He's the first baseman. Eric Garcia bats seventh. He's the shortstop. Gary Brown batting eighth. He's back in center field tonight. And batting ninth is Angel Sanchez back in the lineup. He is playing second base. Richardson, Myers, Nelson, Marte, Molina, Wilson, Garcia, Brown, Sanchez, the lineup for Southern Maryland. Defensively for the Blue Crabs, left to right in the outfield, Richardson, Brown, Myers, Nelson, Garcia, left side of the infield, Sanchez, Wilson, right side of the infield, Molina behind the plate. And on the mound tonight is the right-hander Darryl Thompson, 3-6, a 5.35 ERA. 14 games, 13 starts for Darryl, 75 2/3 innings pitched, 45 earned runs, 16 walks, and 46 strikeouts. Our umpiring crew here tonight: Justin Sims is the home plate umpire, John Epperson is the first base umpire, Donald Mayer the third base umpire. Umpire tonight: black shirts, gray pants, and black caps. We're ready for baseball. Anthony Vega will lead things off. Thank you for being with us tonight on the Legal ID Shield, Southern Maryland Blue Crabs Baseball Network. Vega homered last night. The left fielder hits from the left side, hitting at .277, 5 home runs, 35 RBIs. Here's the pitch. He squares, pulls back, and takes a fastball inside, and we are underway. First pitch at 6:36, game time temperature 94 degrees. It's a scorcher here tonight. The humidity 47%. A mix of sun and clouds. Winds to the southwest 4 miles per hour, blowing out to left center. Here's a swing and a miss on a changeup. Vega out in front, and it is 1-1 strike. Thompson, 6 foot, 205 pounds, 30 years of age. Working off the third base edge of the rubber. He's into his motion. Here's the pitch. Down and in with a fastball. He's got a fastball, a breaking ball, and a changeup. It'll be Vega, Lentini, Cleary Jr. due up for the Ducks, who last night banged out 22 hits. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. A fastball on the inner half, tying up Vega. And it is 2 strikes. Those 22 hits, of course, a season high. Their last season high was 20, and that came back on the 20th of June against Southern Maryland. Here's the pitch. Inside just a tad. Thompson didn't miss by much as the count runs full to 3 strikes. Good at bat here by Anthony Vega. 15 runs scored last night for Long Island. Here's the turn, the kick, the payoff. Swinging a hot shot through the hole on the right side. A base hit out of the range of the first baseman, Zach Wilson. And the leadoff man, Anthony Vega, is on. Wilson moving to his right, unable to make the play. A hot shot off the bat of Vega. And a good start here offensively for the Ducks, who, by the way, those 22 hits, not to belabor the point, but that was 3 off the high of 25, which occurred in a game back in 2011. Here's Velant Lentini, no score, top of the first inning. Lentini, the right fielder, the league's leading hitter at .321. Last night, he went 3 for 5. He's got 106 hits on the year. That's also first in the Atlantic League. 6 home runs, 44 RBIs. Here's the pitch. In for a strike, flipping the outside corner. Lentini with a home run last night. Gabby Hernandez surrendering all the 4 home runs that were hit by the Ducks. He had a rough night last night, as he allowed 11 earned runs on 12 hits. Next offering, a swing and a foul. Back to the screen, a good cut by Lentini. Belmont with 63 runs scored, also first in the Atlantic League. He's up there in stolen bases as well, second in the league with 27 stolen bases. He has a tendency to run when he gets on. Right now in the 0-2 hole, right-handed batter as Thompson leans in. Vega the lead at first, held on by Wilson. Quick toss over, and Vega diving back in head first safely. Delta Cleary Jr. is waiting to hit next. It's a hot one here tonight. It's supposed to be even hotter tomorrow. An afternoon game, the finale of this 3-game series. The first pitch is set for 2:05. Outside target, the pitch. Swing and a fly ball lofted in the air to shallow right. Myers coming in on it with an easy play underneath. Darby makes the catch. Lentini out number 1. No score, top of the first. Here's Delta Cleary Jr., switch hitting center fielder. He will bat from the left side, hitting at .322 with a home run and 23 RBIs. Thompson, his last start, picking up the win against Lancaster on the 18th. His first start after the All-Star break, 6 2/3, 3 strikeouts, 3 earned runs, 5 hits. Quick throw over again, quick tag, and Vega diving back in just in time, head first safely to the back inside corner of the bag. For that quick swipe tag from Zach Wilson, unsuccessful. That was very close. Big crowd on hand here tonight, and that crowd thought that was going to be an out. Vega the lead over there at first. The pitch. Swing and a fly ball, well hit, right center field. Myers with a beat on it, going back into his right, into the gap. Darby makes a one-hand grab, 20 feet from the warning track. And Vega scampers back to first. 2 outs. Vega, of course, with 16 stolen bases on the year and 21 attempts. He has yet to really show any signs of running. He is taking a big lead over there at first, but that's been it. Here's Cody Puckett with 2 outs. No score, top of the first. Puckett, the third baseman, hitting at .285 with 7 home runs. And he has driven in 48. Puckett tied for 5th in the Atlantic League with those 48 RBIs. Right-handed batter. The pitch on the way. In for a strike over the inside corner with a fastball. Thompson has thrown 87 games in his Atlantic League career. He's been a strike thrower, though. His last 9 starts, he has struck out 36 hitters and has walked just 4 guys. There's the kick and the pitch. Vega breaks for second. Outside, Molina's throw to second. On a line, quick tag. Out at second base with Sanchez, the second baseman there covering, applying the tag. And Vega is gunned down for the 6th time this season. That'll do it for the Ducks as they are down in order. We head to the bottom of the first. Blue Crabs coming to bat. No score.
ID Shield, a division of Legal Shield, continues the mission of providing identity protection to more than 1 million people in 50 states and 4 Canadian provinces. Teamed with Crow, no other company combines the expertise of the most knowledgeable identity protection specialists in the industry. The team of dedicated individuals does whatever it takes for as long as it takes to keep you and your family safe. For more information, log on to www.legalshieldassociate.com/BowareMJ or contact Marcellus and Jeanette Boware at 571-337-3588.
No score, bottom half of the first inning. Blue Crabs coming to bat defensively for the Ducks. Vega, Cleary Jr., Lentini left to right in the outfield. Puckett, Lyons left side of the infield. Wessinger, Minikazi right side of the infield. Mike Blank is behind the plate. Bruce Kern, the right-hander, is on the mound tonight. Kern 4-1 on the year with an ERA at 2.40. 18th game, 11th start, 56 and a third innings pitched. 15 earned runs, 16 walks, 56 strikeouts. Opponents hitting .243 off of the hard-throwing right-hander. It'll be Richardson, Myers, and Nelson due up for the Blue Crabs here in the bottom of the first. Paint the park pink night. Blue Crabs with the pink jerseys tonight. Switch hitting Richardson batting left. The wind, the pitch. Swinging a foul back to the padded backstop. It's one with an even 200 batting average. Kern, a guy who works very quickly. Puck it up on the grass about 2 feet at third. Here's the windup and the 0-1. Inside just a tad with a fastball. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike. The outfielders shade towards left center field. Cleary Jr. is nearly in the left center field gap, playing Richardson to hit it late. Here's the pitch. He squares, Antoine does, and bunts it foul right into the ground at the plate. Trying to bunt his way on right there. 1 ball and 2 strikes, and now Puckett, the third baseman, will back up behind the third base bag. Kern 6'1", 175 pounds. He's from Stony Brook, New York. Next offering, a bouncer. Fair. No, foul. Just foul. I thought it was fair from up here inside the bag at first. It bounced just foul outside the bag as it rolled down the right field line. Richardson missing an extra base hit by inches. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes with Darby Myers waiting to hit next. Kern last year spending the entire year with Long Island. He went 9-6, a 3.51 ERA in 40 games and 13 starts. Having a good year this year. He comes in having won 4 straight outings. Here's the windup and the 1-2. Swing and a miss over a breaking ball. And down goes Richardson. Good start for Bruce Kern. 1 out, nobody on. No score, bottom of the first, and Darby Myers will stand in. Right-handed batter. Myers hitting at .287 with 5 home runs and 32 RBIs. Myers coming in on a tear as of late, an 18-game hitting streak. Here's the windup and the pitch. Swing and a soft liner into right. Lentini racing in, diving head first, unable to make the play as he traps the baseball, and now Darby on a 19-game hitting streak. By the way, that 18-game hitting streak tied for the second longest in the league this year. It's up to 19 games. That .394 batting average over that time span will rise. His 29th hit, by the way, during this hitting streak. 1 on, 1 out, bottom of the first, and here comes Bryant Nelson. Nelson, switch hitter, he'll bat from the left side, hitting at .294 with a home run and 29 RBIs. Lead over at first by Myers. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss on a fastball as Nelson was late. No balls and 1 strike. Nelson 10 hits away from overtaking Jeff Nettles' mark of 1,052 hits, the most in Atlantic League history. He was 1 for 4 yesterday. Nelson climbing in many offensive categories in Atlantic League history day after day. The pitch on the way. Swing and a fly ball into shallow left. Vega moving in and to his right. And Anthony makes the catch 10 steps from the warning track. It's very short to left from home plate. Down the left field line, only .310 as Vega makes that grab. And with 2 outs, Myers still at first base. Here's Alfredo Marte. The DH hitting at .251, 6 home runs, 17 RBIs, right-handed batter. Trying to keep this inning alive. No score, bottom of the first. Kern straightening up. Coming with a shoulder-high set, the pitch. And there's a strike with a fastball dotting the inside corner. So Kern has thrown 8 strikes and just 1 ball here in the early going. Guy who works fairly quickly on the mound. Myers with 19 stolen bases. In 24 attempts, he's over there at first being held on by Minikazi. He singled with 1 out. Here's the kick and the pitch. Myers breaks for second. Low and away. Quick throw to second base on a bounce. Skips right by the second baseman, Wessinger. Shortstop Lyons there to back it up. Blank with a low throw, unable to gun down Darby Myers, who steals his 20th base of the year. A quick release from Blank, but he was unable make an accurate throw, and Myers got a really good jump. He works his way into scoring position. As Marte will face a 1-ball and 1-strike pitch. Right-handed batter. Blue Crabs looking to get on the board early. Here's the set. Check of the runner, now the pitch. In the dirt, low and away, and Blank with the block using the chest protector in the left-handed batter's box. 2 balls and 1 strike is the count. We've talked about Mike Blank before. I talked to his college coach, Joe Urso of the University of Tampa, and Joe told me that Blank is a grinder, whether it be behind the plate catching, in the field fielding, or at the plate hitting. He is a guy who will lay it all on the line to block a baseball, as he did right there. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Marte was tied up on a pitch on the inner half. A bad swing at that. Looked like he was fooled on that fastball that whizzed right by his bat. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, no score. Bottom of the first inning with Gustavo Molina waiting to hit next. Wind blowing out to left center field. Kern looking for his second strikeout. Checks the runner at second. Here's the kick and the pitch. Breaking ball, drops high and in. Full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Outfielders play straight away. The wind picks up a little bit here, blowing out to left center field. Wessinger, the second baseman, shades towards the middle. 3-2 pitch. Swung on, looped in the air, left center field. Vega, Cleary Jr. giving a chase. Anthony Vega giving way to Cleary Jr., the center fielder, who makes the catch in the gap 10 feet from the warning track. Vega giving chase to that one, and he peeled off just in time for Cleary Jr. to make that catch. No runs, a hit, and 1 man left in scoring position. We head to the top half of the second inning. No score.
Since 2013, over 1 billion records have been compromised right here in our great nation. ID Shield's comprehensive identity protection service monitors for all signs of criminal activity and gives you all the resources you need to keep your identity secure from fraud. For just $9.95 per month, ID Shield provides unlimited consultation, complete monitoring, and a $5 million service guarantee. For more information, contact Marcellus and Jeanette Bower at 571-337-3588 or log on to www.legalshieldassociate.com/BowerMJ.
This is Scott Snodgrass, and you're listening to the Blue Crabs Baseball Network.
Top half of the second inning here at Regency Furniture Stadium. We are scoreless. The Ducks and the Blue Crabs, game 2 of this 3-game series. Darryl Thompson ready to begin inning number 2. It'll be 4, 5, 6, Puckett, Lyons, and Minikazi up for this high-powered Ducks offense, which again banged out 22 hits last night in Game 1. Puckett hitting at .285, 7 home runs, and 48 RBIs. A righty-on-righty matchup. Sense sets off to our right on the first base side. Thompson in the shade, turns, kicks, and fires. A strike with a changeup over the outer third. Outfielders in sunlight, infielders in sunlight as well. Some shadows from the light post on the first base side, knifing across the outfield. Next offering, a breaking ball strike on the inner half. As Puckett turned away, he was fooled on that pitch. It's quickly 0-2. I mentioned this high-powered offense for the Ducks. .283 batting average. As a team, that's the highest in the Atlantic League. And they've scored the most runs in the league at 421. The pitch on the way. Swinging a fly ball, well hit left field. Richardson going back, turns, looks, and it's off the top of the grill. 13 mini monster. Big turnaround first by Puckett. Richardson quickly gets it in on one bounce to second, holding Puckett to a single as Cody scampers back to first. That's the second hit of the game for the Ducks. And the leadoff man is on. In a scoreless game, top of the second, here's Dan Lyons, the right-handed hitting shortstop at 306, 6 home runs, 32 RBIs. You know, I mentioned it last night, too, with Long Island. This is a team that, in my opinion, is without 2 of the best hitters in the league, and Lou Ford and Sean Burroughs. Burroughs last year, the Atlantic League batting champion. He's on the DL along with Lou Ford, who easily can hit over 300 in this league. Here's the pitch. And for a strike as Lyons looks it into the mitt, a fastball. And it is 0-1. The only question I think this year, and this was in the first half with the Ducks, was the pitching. It's never been the offense. The pitch. Strike called, a changeup nipping the outside edge. And a good reason for that, too. They put up the offensive numbers that I think at times are eye-popping. Like, for example, last night, and I hate to keep talking about it, 22 hits. That's eye-popping to me. To bang out 22 hits against a professional team is impressive. Pushing across 15 runs is even more impressive. Puckett the lead at first, no score. Top of the second inning, the pitch. Swung on, hooked in the air, up the left field side, peeling foul. Richardson giving it chase in foul territory, makes a one-hand catch just behind the Blue Crabs mound in their bullpen. Good job by Richardson to run that one down. Lions retired. Here's Mark Minikazi now, the first baseman, hitting at .340, 4 home runs and 9 RBIs. 14th game for Mark. Became just the 3rd Duck this year to collect 5 hits in a single game. He was 5 for 6 last night. The pitch. In for a strike over the inside corner with a fastball. Since joining the Ducks, Minikazi has earned 5 multi-hit games and 13 total games. Right-handed batter. Outside target from Molina. The pitch. In for a strike. A bender over the inside. It's quickly 0-2. Puckett over there still at first. Taking his lead, held on by Wilson. Thompson bending at the waist, coming set. No score, top second, the pitch. In the dirt, kicks to the left of Molina, who picks it up. Puckett breaks for second, and he slides in feet first safely without a throw. It'll be a wild pitch on Thompson. Molina did keep it in front, but it ricocheted to his left, just outside the right-handed batter's box, and a good job by Puckett. Very good base running awareness, getting a good jump off first and working his way into scoring position. Minikazi, a guy who is from Wayne, Pennsylvania. He attended East Carolina University. Spent time in the Giants organization at the professional level. Here's a swing and a fly ball into shallow right. Myers sprinting in. Sanchez back from second. It drops down for a hit and skips by Myers. Puckett around third. He will score. Minikazi staying hot with the bat. RBI single, his 10th RBI of the year, and the Ducks take a 1-0 lead. Myers was playing relatively deep there in right field. Sanchez going back from second, but it was Myers' baseball. He had the best shot at it, and he was unable to make the play. A bloop single for Minikazi, who now has 6 hits in 7 at-bats here in this series. Here's Tyler Colvin, a left-handed batter, the DH at 248. 3 home runs, 21 RBIs. The Ducks out to an early 1-0 lead. They've got 3 hits here in the game. By the way, the Ducks this year as a team, I mentioned their batting average in total. They're hitting .320 against the Blue Crabs. Colvin looks it over. Called strike on the first offering over the outside edge. Tyler, 13th overall pick by the Cubs in 2006 out of Clemson University. Made his major league debut on September 21st of 2009 at the age of 24. He played 6 seasons at the major league level. The pitch. Swung on, tipped into the mitt of Molina. It's 0-2. I remember back in 2010 in a game against the Marlins, Colvin was hit in the chest with a piece of a broken bat. when he scored from third on a double. So that night he was taken to the hospital, and he remained in stable condition after he suffered a punctured lung. Here's the set, the pitch. Strike 3 called, right at the knees with a fastball. And Colvin knew it as he walked back dejected to the first base side dugout. That's the first strikeout for Darrell Thompson, and there's 2 away. 1-0 Ducks, top of the second inning. Yeah, I remember I went back and watched that video of when Colvin was hit by what was the barrel of the bat. It was the barrel side of the bat, and it was toward the handle where the sharp edge was, where the bat cracked off, and it ricocheted like a helicopter right into his chest as he was coming home from third. It was a scary injury. Here's Mike Blank now, who had a big night last night, 4 hits. Right-handed batter, the pitch. In for a strike with a breaking ball on the outside. The catcher hitting at .258, 7 home runs, and 36 RBIs. 2 outs. Minikazi with that RBI single. He is at first, held on by Wilson. The pitch on the way. Swinging a foul back over the screen, out of play. Good cut by Blank, with Wessinger waiting on deck. 0-2, 2 outs. A lot of pink tonight in the ballpark. Paint the Park Pink Night in honor of breast cancer awareness. One of the biggest nights of the year at the ballpark. Very cool ceremony before the game as well. Thompson sets, delivers home. Fastball just missed off the outside corner. Molina tried to bring it back, and Justin Sims, the home plate umpire, would not give him the call. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Thompson bending at the waist. Minikazi the lead at first. Sanchez shades towards the middle. The pitch. Swing and a ground ball wide of third, under the glove of Nelson as it skips into left field for a base hit. Bryant's moving to his left, unable to make that play. Stopping at second base is Minikazi. And that'll be the 4th hit of the game for the Ducks, 3rd of the inning. And Matt Wessinger will come to the plate. Wessinger hitting at just .201 with a home run and 17 RBIs. Thompson with 22 strikes thrown, 7 balls, a pitch count of 29 thus far, in an inning and 2/3. 1-0 Ducks. First and second. The pitch. Fastball a little bit low as it pops into the mitt of Molina. 1 ball and no strikes. Thompson with a high set. Kicks, delivers. In for a strike over the inside. Wessinger playing his college ball at St. John's University. He was drafted his junior year by the Royals in the 37th round, but he did not sign. He returned to college in 2012, played his senior year, hit .348, and was drafted by the Rockies in the 5th round of the draft that year. The pitch. Up high with a curveball. And now it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Wessinger spending some time in the Canadian American Association. Played 79 games last year with Bridgeport. Right-handed batter, not wearing any batting gloves, knees bent. Here's the pitch. Swing and a broken bat, fly ball into shallow right. Myers darting in to his left, and Darby makes a one-hand catch in stride. Ducks leaving 2 runners on, but they score a run on 3 hits, no errors, and 2 men left. We head to the bottom half of the second inning. Long Island 1 and Southern Maryland nothing.
ID Shield is the best way to protect your identity. If you become a victim of identity theft, ID Shield spends up to $5 million to do everything that it can to restore your identity. ID Shield is dedicated to your safety. Their identity specialists are focused on protecting you. They provide you with the services that walk you through all the steps to protect yourself. ID Shield monitors all of your personal information from social security numbers, credit cards, and bank accounts. ID Shield monitors everything from your passport, email, phone numbers, driver's license information, and much more. ID Shield is the only company that is partnered with Kroll, the worldwide leader in theft investigative services. ID Shield partner with Kroll protects the identities of more than 1 million people in 50 states and 4 Canadian provinces. For more information, call 571 888-337-3588 or log on to www.legalshieldassociate.com/BowareMJ.
This is Jeremy Owens, manager of the Blue Crabs. Thanks for listening to Blue Crab Baseball. Now back to the game.
Home half of the second inning here at Regency Furniture Stadium, 1-0. Ducks out in front on the RBI single by Mark Minikazi. Second inning of work for Bruce Kern. He will face Molina, Wilson, and Garcia. Kern giving up a hit to Darby Myers in the bottom of the first. Molina hitting at .333 with a home run and 10 RBIs, his 18th game. Gustavo missing 65 games with a broken toe. He returned to the lineup on July 25th against Lancaster. Climbs in right side. Kern takes a breath. He's into his motion. Here's the pitch. Swinging a ground ball. Weakly hit to short. Lions charges. Scoops and slings low to first. Minikazi digs it out on the back end. Nicely done by Mark Minikazi using the backhand to pick that one out of the dirt and save Lions from an error. Molina retired on one pitch. 6-3 on the putout here is Zach Wilson. 1-0 Ducks on our out-of-town scoreboard starting in the Atlantic League. 6:05 start Texas time. We're about ready to get underway at Constellation Field, the Revolution and the Skeeters. The pitch. In for a strike over the outer third. Top four, the Bees and the Bluefish tied at 1 at Harbor Yard. Top of the first inning at Clipper Magazine Stadium. Patriots and the Barnstormers are scoreless. Pitch on the way. Wilson takes low and outside with a slider. And it's 1 and 1 strike. 1-0 Ducks, 1 out. We're in the bottom half of the second inning. Wilson slightly open stance, right side, the pitch. In for a strike, clipping the outside corner with a slider. Wilson has seen a lot of sliders this year on the outer half. That's the pitch that has really given him the most trouble. Pitch on the way. Swinging a ground ball back up the middle into center for a base hit. Blue Crabs now with 2 hits. Cleary Jr. fielding it cleanly. 1 on 1 out for Eric Garcia. That was a fastball right there on the inner half, and Wilson got good wood on it. Garcia hitting at .226, 2 home runs, and 24 RBIs. Garcia straightaway stance left side as Kern comes set. Puck it up on the cut of the grass at third. The pitch on the way. Swinging a foul off to the left and out of play. The sun is set. Off to our right on the first base side. Lights are on. Kids playing some basketball on the courts beyond the wall in left center field. I think one of the best additions to this ballpark in the offseason. Getting that basketball court. To me, there are kids, from what I've seen out there, every game playing basketball, whether it be a weekend or a weeknight game. Garcia looks it over on the next offering, a called strike on the outside. And it's quickly 0-2. 1-0 Ducks. We're in the bottom half of the second inning. Wessinger, second baseman, shaded towards the middle. Now Puckett is backed up at third behind the bag. Outfielders shade towards left center. Brown on deck. The pitch on the way. Swinging a looper. Shallow left. That's down. A base hit. Vega fields it on one bounce. Wilson stops at second. The tying run in scoring position. Back-to-back hits with 1 out. Gary Brown coming to the plate. Brown hitting at .216, 2 home runs, 11 RBIs. He returned from the disabled list with an undisclosed injury on July 15th. Brown last night responsible for the only 2 Blue Crabs runs in the bottom of the fourth, a 2-run home run. Righty on righty matchup as the wind blows out to left center field. Possible bunting situation. Brown not squaring. Looks at the first offering outside. And it's 1 ball and no strikes. On the Major League Baseball side of things, the out-of-town scoreboard, Pittsburgh a 7-4 lead over Philadelphia, bottom of the 7th inning. Top of the 9th, Giants and the Yankees all tied at 1. Check of the runner at second. Here's the pitch. Swinging a ground ball to third. Puckett's got it. Slings to second for one. No, it's wide. And it rolls into right field for a hit. Wilson around third. He will score. Snap throw to second. And diving back in head first safely is Eric Garcia. An error by Cody Puckett, his 10th of the year. And the Blue Crabs have tied the game at 1 here in the bottom half of the second inning. A wide throw as Wessinger came over from second base, and it sailed to the left of his glove. It was a wide throw to the right field side of second, and it rolled into right field. Kevin Baez arguing something here. I think he was arguing that Garcia might have been out on that snap throw behind Eric. That was a short-lived argument as Kevin jogs back to the first base side dugout. The batter is Angel Sanchez. Here's the set, the pitch. In for a strike with a breaking ball. Sanchez hits from the right side, hitting at .247, 4 home runs, and 10 RBIs. Top of the first inning, Cleveland, Baltimore scoreless. Same thing with the Padres and the Nationals in the top of the first. Diamondbacks, Reds, top of the first scoreless, and the same with the Cubs and the Brewers. Here's a swing and a chopper over the mound towards the middle. Moving to his left, Lyons the shortstop. He gloves, flips to second one. The turn by Wessinger on to first is in time for the double play. And that'll do it for the Blue Crabs rally, but they score a run on 2 hits. One big error by Puckett, and 1 man left on. We head to the top half of the third inning. The Ducks and the Blue Crabs all tied at 1. This is the Legal ID Shield, Southern Maryland Blue Crabs Baseball Network.
Legal issues can mean trouble for anyone. No matter how much money you have, Legal Shield can help with a range of legal services. Legal Shield believes in educating and serving their members to improve their lives. Legal Shield partners with providing law firms across the United States and 4 provinces in Canada to help you with any issue you can think of. For more information, contact Marcellus and Jeanette Boweir at 571-337-3588 or log on to www.legalshieldassociate.com/Boweir MJ.
This is Cody Eppley, and you're listening to Blue Crabs Baseball on the Blue Crabs Baseball Network.
Heading to the top half of the third inning, Ducks and the Blue Crabs all tied at 1. Anthony Vega leads off, top of the order. Vega, Lentini, Cleary Jr. Thompson winds and fires. Down and in with a changeup. And it's 1 ball and no strikes. Vega singled and stole a base his first time up. Left-handed batter, the pitch. A strike over the inside edge. Thompson, the right-hander, allowing that run in the top of the second inning on the RBI single by Mark Minakazi. The wind, the pitch. Swinging a foul back to the screen. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. After Vega, it'll be Lentini up against Thompson, who was drafted by the Expos in the 8th round of the 2003 draft out of La Plata High School. Began his professional career in 2003 with the Expos rookie affiliation. Pitch. Down and in with a breaking ball. And now it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Darryl from La Plata, Maryland, knows this area very well. He's been with the Blue Crabs since 2012. Darrell into the windup, the 2-2 pitch. Inside with a fastball at the knees. Didn't really miss low, but it missed inside as Vega adjusts his batting gloves. 1-1 our score here in the top of the third. 3 balls, 2 strikes is the count. Here's the windup and the pitch. Down and in, ball 4. Vega walks to start things here in the top of the third. The first one issued tonight by Darrell Thompson, with the game tied at 1. Darrell with 26 strikes thrown, 14 balls, a pitch count of 50. Here is Phelan Lentini. Phelan 3 for 5 last night. He flew out to right his first time up. Phelan selected in the 41st round of the 1996 draft by the Texas Rangers out of Napa Valley College. At the time, one of 10 students to be drafted from the institution. Thompson sets the pitch. In for a strike over the outside. He transferred to Sonoma State, and he's currently in their Hall of Fame. Lentini, 38 years of age. 12th season on the independent scene in professional baseball. He's played in 5 different leagues across the country. The pitch. Swung on, lifted in the air to shallow right center field. Brown coming in from center. Sanchez back from second calling. And Angel makes a 2-hand catch about 15 feet on the outfield grass. Vega scampering back to first. And with 1 out, Delta Cleary Jr. will come to the plate. One our score here in the top of the third. Cleary Jr. switch hitter. Batting from the left side, he flew out to right his first time. The pitch. Up and away with a fastball. And it's 1 ball and no strikes. Ducks out hitting the Blue Crabs 4-3. Vega with that leadoff walk. He is at first base. The pitch on the way. Low and outside with a changeup. And now it is 2-0. Continuing with the Major League Baseball out-of-town scoreboard. Tigers, White Sox are about to get underway. Angels, Astros. Twins, Red Sox. Mets, Marlins. Dodgers, Cardinals. Rangers, and Royals. All scoreless in the top of the first. Quick throw over, and Vega diving back in head first safely. An 8:10 start, Atlanta and Colorado. 9:05 start, Tampa Bay and Oakland. And from earlier today, the Mariners, a 14-5 win over the Blue Jays. The pitch. Swing and a foul, lofted out of play towards the third base side. Cody Puckett on deck. Game tied at 1 here at Regency Furniture Stadium. Top of the third inning. Game 2 of this 3-game series. Nelson even with the bag at third. Here's the pitch. Upstairs. Three balls and 1 strike. Vega the lead at first. Breaks for second. The pitch is outside. That's ball 4. And Cleary Jr. walks. Molina threw it down anyway. 2 walks in the inning issued by Thompson. First and second with 1 out. And Cody Puckett will come to the plate. He singled and scored a run on that RBI single by Minikazi in the second. Game tied at 1. Ducks threatening once again. Puckett taking a practice swing outside the right-handed batter's box. 8th rounder by the Reds in 2008. California State University, Dominguez Hills. Thompson checks the runner at second. Once, now twice. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss on a high fastball. Kevin Baez, the manager for the Ducks, in the third base side coach's box. He spent some time in the early 90s with the Mets. Saw something interesting last night in the clubhouse. A sign on the clubhouse door. I took a picture of it that Kevin Baez, it was a sign that Kevin Baez put up before yesterday's game, the next offering. up high with the breaking ball. He said, people with an elite mindset make it happen, and he underlined the words, make it happen. That's been the mindset for this Ducks team all year long, hence why they come in having won 7 of 8. They've got the best record in the league at 50 wins and 33 losses, 10-3 here in second half play. Baez has done a phenomenal job this year managing this Ducks team. Check the runner at second base 3 times. The pitch swung on, fouled back to the padded backstop. And now it's a ball and 2 strikes. 1 out, 1-1 is our score. Ducks threatening. Vega, good speed at second base. Same thing with Cleary Jr. at first. Both of those guys walked. Sandwiched in between that was a pop out to the second baseman Sanchez off the bat of Lentini. Thompson off the third base edge. Bending at the waist, arm dangling off the right side. Sets letter high, the pitch. Swung on, chopped left side. Garcia moving to his right, collects the hop. Sidearms to second for the force. No throw from Sanchez. Cleary Jr. is erased off the base paths. 6-4 fielder's choice. Vega into third base. Bucket safe at first on the fielder's choice. And Dan Lyons will come to the plate. Lyons, right-handed hitter, flew out to left his first time as he looks to keep the inning alive. Dan Lyons, I mentioned this last night with Dan. He's not to be confused with American writer Dan Lyons. By the way, they both spell their name the same, Lyons. This Dan Lyons, the baseball player, drafted by the Nationals in the 2007 draft in the 14th round from the University of Minnesota. Takes a called strike on the outer third. It's 0-1 with 2 outs. Game tied at 1. We're in the top of inning number 3. Minikazi is on deck. Runners at the corners for the Ducks. This game moving along pretty quickly here tonight. Next offering. Swung on, chopped weakly to short. Garcia charging. He gloves knee high. Sidearms to second. Chest high throw to Wilson. In time to get Lyons by 2 steps. No runs, no hits, 2 walks. Runners left at the corners. Heading to the bottom of the third here at Regency Furniture Stadium. Game is tied at 1. Ducks and the Blue Crabs. This is the Legal ID Shield Southern Maryland Blue Crabs Baseball Network. Blue Crabs fans, come out to the ballpark August 17th against the Bridgeport Bluefish. It's Coors Light Can Do Wednesday. $3 Coors Light beers from 5:30 to the middle of the 5th inning. For more information, call 301-638-9788 or log on to somdbluecrabs.com.
ID Shield is the best way to protect your identity. If you become a victim of identity theft, ID Shield spends up to $5 million to do everything that it can to restore your identity. ID Shield is dedicated to your safety. Their identity specialists are focused on protecting you. They provide you with the services that walk you through all the steps to protect yourself. ID Shield monitors all of your personal information from social security numbers, credit cards, and bank accounts. ID Shield monitors everything from your passport, email, phone numbers, driver's license information, and much more. ID Shield is the only company that is partnered with Kroll, the worldwide leader in theft investigative services. ID Shield partner with Kroll protects the identities of more than 1 million people in 50 states and 4 Canadian provinces. For more information, call 571-337-3588 or log on to www.legalshieldassociate.com/BowareMJ.
Bottom half of the 3rd inning here at Regency Furniture Stadium. Ducks and the Blue Crabs all tied at 1. Long Island Southern Maryland playing Game 2 of a 3-game series here tonight. Top of the order for the Blue Crabs, it'll be Richardson, Myers, and Nelson. Glad you're with us on the Legal ID Shield Southern Maryland Blue Crabs Baseball Network. Richardson, switch hitter, batting from the left side. Here's the windup and the pitch home. In for a strike with a fastball over the inside corner. Antoine struck out swinging his first time up. Puck at about 3 feet on the infield grass at third. The windup and the pitch. Breaking ball, bends in, a called strike at the knees. And it is quickly 0-2 to Richardson, who Went 1 for 5 last night. He was signed by Southern Maryland back on July 8th. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Coming up empty on a 12-6 curveball. As Richardson is down on strikes for the second time this evening. 2 Ks for Bruce Kern. Both come at the expense of Antoine Richardson. Now it's Darby Myers. Myers singled and stole a base his first time up. Game all tied at 1 here in the bottom of the third. 24 hours ago, this game was getting pretty ugly for the Blue Crabs. It's a different story, though, here tonight. And 15 runs last night scored by the Ducks. Here's the pitch. Myers takes low and away. And it's 1 ball and no strikes. Darby now on a 19-game hitting streak. And for Myers, his 29th hit during that hitting streak. He did not play last night. Came into tonight's game hitting safely in 27 of his last 29 games. The pitch. In for a strike over the inside edge. 420 batting average during that time span. 4 home runs, 19 RBIs. The windup and the pitch. Wave and a miss at a curveball. And it's a ball and 2 strikes. Darby hitting .312 here at Regency Furniture Stadium. Open stance, knees bent. The kick and the pitch. In the dirt, low and away. And now the count levels to 2 balls and 2 strikes. His 11th professional season. Darby signed by Southern Maryland on May 2nd. He was selected by the Phillies in the 4th round in 2006 out of Westchester High School in California. Here's the kick and the pitch. High and away with a fastball, and it's full, 3-2. Nobody on base, 1-1 our score, bottom of the third. Bryant Nelson waiting to hit next. The Ducks out hitting the Blue Crabs 4-3. Kern turns, kicks, delivers home. Outside, ball 4. First walk issued by Bruce Kern. And Bryant Nelson will stand in. Fans, be sure to like the Blue Crabs on Facebook. Also follow the Blue Crabs on Twitter with the handle @BlueCrabs and on Instagram with the handle @BlueCrabsBaseball. Nelson flew out to left his first time, switch hitter. He'll bat from the left side. 10 hits away from passing Jeff Nettles and becoming the Atlantic League's all-time hits leader. Nelson with a hit last night. 1 for 4. The pitch. Taken for a called strike, clipping the inside corner. Nelson currently ranks 1st in at-bats, 2nd in games played, 3rd in doubles, 5th in RBIs, and 8th in runs scored in Atlantic League history. And those numbers, by the way, continue to climb as each day passes. 1 out, 1-1 our score. The pitch. Swung on, popped him up. Shallow left. The shortstop Lyons going back onto the outfield grass, calling right in front of Vega. He makes a 2-hand catch about 10 feet on the outfield green. Nelson's 0 for 2. Here's Alfredo Marte. Marte flew out to center his first time. 2 outs, Myers still at first. 1-1 our score. Ducks and the Blue Crabs here in the bottom of the third in Game 2 of this 3-game series. Marte, the DH, right-handed batter. Kern with a high set, outside target. Here's the pitch. Swing and a ball fisted in the air, foul off first behind the bag. Minikazi gives it a look as it sails over his head, bouncing onto the track and into the seats out of play. 0-1 to Alfredo, who went 2 for 4 last night. He was traded to Southern Maryland from the York Revolution for a player to be named later on July 8th. And that player to be named later was Rede Rodriguez, who was traded before yesterday's game to the York Revolution to complete that earlier trade. 2 other roster moves, by the way, yesterday. Connor David and John DeZamba both released. 2 outs, 0-1 pitch. In the dirt. Blank smothers it between his legs, just behind the left-handed batter's box. 1 ball and 1 strike, 2 outs, 1-1 our score, last of the third. Lights on here at the ballpark, beaming down on the playing field. Wind blows out to left center field. Mix of some sun and clouds up above. The sky continues to get darker and darker with each minute passing. Game 3 of the series tomorrow, 2:05 first pitch. Next offering. Swung on, chopped foul of third. Nice snag by Jeremy Owens, the manager, third base coach, in the coach's box. Jeremy's first season as Blue Crabs manager. Last year, the hitting coach under Stan Clyburn. Elevated to the managerial spot when Stan left for Atlantic League newcomer, New Britain, back in December. 1-2 with 2 outs, 1-1 our score. Myers still over at first base. He walked with 1 out, taking his lead. Held on by Minikazi, not running. And the next offering is bounced on the ground towards third. Backing up, Puckett. Gloves it, smothering the line. Long throw to first. Low, picked out of the dirt, though, by Minikazi. Good play by Puckett. And a good job by Minikazi on the back end to pick that one with the backhand. And Marte is out by a step and a half. No runs, no hits, a walk, and 1 man left. At the end of 3 innings of play, it is Long Island 1 and Southern Maryland 1. You're listening to the Legal ID Shield Southern Maryland Blue Crabs Baseball Network.
Blue Crabs fans, is your brand, business, or organization looking to increase exposure and gain new and diverse consumers in this Southern Maryland market? Look no further than the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs and Regency Furniture Stadium. Our business partners are afforded unparalleled access to our consumer base of fans from attractive and potentially lucrative demographics with disposable income. Call today at 301-374-1133 for more information or to set up a consultation.
Piece of land out in the countryside. Lay back and smell the sun. Warm up the Georgia pie. It's so good to be taking it easy. Why would I ever leave? 'Cause I know I got some good friends that live down the street. Got a good...
This is Justin Berg. Thanks for listening to Blue Crabs Baseball. Now back to the game.
Mark Minikazi will lead things off, top of the 4th inning. 1-1 our score, Long Island, Southern Maryland. Glad you're with us here tonight on the Legal ID Shield, Southern Maryland Blue Crabs Baseball Network. Thompson into the Y, the pitch. And the right-hander pours in a fastball strike at the knees. And it's 0-1. Minikazi singled and drove in his 10th RBI of the year back in the 2nd inning. Ducks out hitting the Blue Crabs 4-3. The 0-1. Swing and a ball fisted foul out of play right side. It's quickly 0-2. Blue Crabs on the other side with 3 hits. And they scored their run back in the bottom of the 2nd inning on the error committed by Cody Puckett. Zach Wilson came around to score. Thompson turns, kicks, and fires home. Swing and a ball served in the air, foul right side out of play. And we'll do it again at 0-2. Darrell with 37 strikes thrown. 18 balls, 55 pitches in total. Tyler Colvin will follow, and then Mike Blank. Darrell into the windup now. The 2-strike pitch home. Swung on, tipped into the mid of Molina, who holds on for the strikeout. 2nd K of the night for Darrell Thompson. And the dangerous hitting Mark Minikazi, who has 6 hits here in the series, is down on strikes. Here's Tyler Colvin. He struck out swinging his first time. Colvin, a left-handed batter. 1-1 our score. Top of inning number 4. Here's the windup and the pitch. Colvin looks at a fastball high. 1 ball and no strikes. Mentioned that Colvin played 6 seasons at the major league level. Thompson into the wide. Here's the pitch. Swinging a looper out to shallow left center field. Garcia back from short. Makes a one-hand over the shoulder running catch. 10 feet on the outfield grass. I was going to say that with Colvin back in 2012, he set major league career highs in batting average, RBIs, runs, hits, doubles, triples, and games played with Colorado Rockies. Right there, he loops out to shallow left center. He's 0 for 2. Here's Mike Blank. 2 outs, nobody on. 1-1 our score, top of the 4th inning. Blank singled his first time back in the 2nd. Right-handed batter. The windup and the pitch. In for a strike, clipping the outside corner. Blank last night with 4 hits. Tall right-handed hitter, 6'4", 225 pounds. He is from Ruidoso, New Mexico. Swings and misses at the next offering. A breaking ball, low and away. And it's quickly 0-2. Thompson trying to get into a rhythm here. Looking for a second 1-2-3 inning. He's got 2 strikeouts, but he's walked 2 guys here in the game. Darrell in the shade. He's into his motion, 0-2. Fastball, darts low. And it's a ball and 2 strikes. Gary Brown, the center fielder, in sunlight along with the right fielder, Darby Myers. All the infielders in shade as the sun sets over on the first base side. Thompson into the windup now. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a line drive, yanked foul down the left field side and into the crowd, out of play. Blank ahead of that changeup. Sounded like he got jammed a little bit. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Wessinger is on deck. Blank with orange laces, lime green, and black cleats. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, set a breaking ball. And Thompson with 2 strikeouts in the inning. He's got 3 in the game. Good work as he sets the Ducks down in order, 1-2-3. Heading to the bottom of the 4th, game tied at 1. Long Island and Southern Maryland on the Legal ID Shield. Southern Maryland Blue Crabs Baseball Network. Blue Crabs fans, great seats are still available. Group tickets start as low as $10 per person. We also offer very affordable luxury suites and picnic area packages. For more information, log on to sondbluecrabs.com or call 301-638-9788.
If you can't make it to the park, you can listen to every Blue Crabs home game
on the Blue Crabs Baseball Network.
This is Jeremy Owens, manager of the Blue Crabs. Thanks for listening to Blue Crab Baseball. Now back to the game.
Gustavo Molina will lead things off. Bottom of the 4th inning, game all tied at 1. Ducks and the Blue Crabs, Molina, Wilson, Garcia due up. Gustavo, a right-handed batter, the catcher for Southern Maryland, rounded out his first time up on the only pitch that he saw here tonight. Bruce Kern, another inning of work. He's got 2 strikeouts, allowing 3 hits in the game. Wind blows out to left center field. Good crowd on hand here tonight. A lot of people in pink, wearing some pink shirts and pink jerseys for Paint the Park Pink Night. The pitch. Molina squares, pulls back, takes a called strike, and it's 0-1. Blue Crabs in the pink jerseys tonight. Bases last year were painted pink, not this year though. Wind up in the 0-1. Low and away. But enough pink to go around. There was pink balloons in the pregame ceremony, pink balloons hung throughout the concourse as well. Everybody in the front office staff wearing pink. Great cause, a great night every single year here at the ballpark. 1-1 to Molina with Wilson on deck. Here's the windup in the pitch. Swing and a fly ball, well hit left field. It's on its way and it's off the mini monster. Vega plays the carom and quickly fires it in towards second. Molina turnaround first, heads back to the bag. And Gustavo responsible for the fourth hit of the game for the Blue Crabs. Molina tattooing that one as it banged off the top of the Grill 13 mini monster. It's very short to left. Only 310 from home plate down that left field line. And the go-ahead run on base. Game tied at 1 here in the bottom of the fourth. Here's Zach Wilson. Singled and scored a run his first time. Bucket is up just in front of the bag at third. Kern coming set. The pitch on the way. In tight with the breaking ball as Wilson turns away. .44 pitches thrown by Kern up to this point. Bruce with the brown glove. Comes set shoulder high. Here's the pitch. Swung on, broken bat, bouncer left side. Puckett collects, sidearms to second one. The quick turn by Wessinger on to first, and Minikazi drops the baseball. Wilson is safe. We'll see how they score that one. It will be a fielder's choice, but it might be an error on Minikazi. It depends now if Wilson was going to be safe. I don't think he was going to be. I think he was going to be out by about a step. That, to me, should be an error on Minikazi, who just, for some reason, dropped the baseball. So it'll be a 6-4 fielder's choice, as Molina is erased off the base paths. Maybe it won't be an error. I didn't get a score yet from the official scorekeeper. Here's Eric Garcia. Game tied at 1, bottom 4. Garcia, left-handed batter, singled his first time. Wilson with the lead off first, held by Minikazi. Garcia hits left side, the pitch. Down and in with a fastball. And it's 1 ball and no strikes. Yeah, no error charged to Minikazi. Here's the set position. Pitch on the way. Runner breaks for second. A swing and a foul tip at the plate. Like might have got a piece of Justin Sims, the home plate umpire. I think maybe his shin or his foot, left foot maybe. I'm not sure. 1 ball and 1 strike with 1 out. Game all tied at 1. Each team with 4 hits apiece. Kern drafted by the Rockies in the 23rd round of the 2010 draft. Bruce from Stony Brook, New York. Kern sets with an inside target. The pitch. Swing and a fly ball lifted in the air to left field. Medium depth. Vega shuffling over to his right. Anthony makes the grab. Back to first goes Wilson. 2 outs for Gary Brown. Nearly 10 million Americans have their identity stolen each year. Audicio prevents you from becoming just another statistic. For more information, contact Marcellus and Jeanette Boulware at 571-337-3588 or log on to LegalShieldAssociate.com/Boulware MJ. Brown reaching on the error by the third baseman Puckett back in the second inning. That allowed Wilson to score. Game all tied at 1. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. And Brown was really late on that fastball. I think it was almost into the mitt of blank by the time that Brown got his swing started. 0-1 is the count. Vega deep and left, about 10 feet from the warning track. Wilson the lead off first, held on by Minikazi. The pitch. In tight. The fastball towards the hands of Brown. 1 ball, 1 strike. Gary with the pants rolled up to the knees, showing off the navy blue socks. Does not wear any batting gloves. Straightaway stance right side. Played second base last night. He's playing center field here tonight. Now the pitch on the way. In for a strike with the breaking ball. And it's 1-2. Here's the set. Outside target, the pitch. Runner breaks for second, a swing and a chopper to short. Lyons charges, collects the hop at the chest, and sidearms to first. Brown is out, and that'll do it for the Blue Crabs. No runs, a hit, 1 man left. At the end of 4 innings of play, Long Island, Southern Maryland tied at 1 on the Legal ID Shield Southern Maryland Blue Crabs Baseball Network. Blue Crabs fans, come out to the ballpark August 2nd against Lancaster. It's Hearing Professionals, Silver Sluggers, night number 7. Free popcorn Tuesdays, presented by RC Theaters Lexington Exchange for the first 500 fans. On August 3rd, 11:05 special start time, it's Camp and Recreation Day. And on August 4th against the Barnstormers, it's National Night Out Celebration and Foster's Grill Wings and Beer Night. For more information, log on to somdbluecrabs.com or call 301-638-9788. Half the 5th inning here at Regency Furniture Stadium. 1-1 our score, Long Island and Southern Maryland. Daryl Thompson, another inning of work. Glad you're with us tonight on the Legal ID Shield Southern Maryland Blue Crabs Baseball Network. 9-1-2 in the order coming to the plate for Long Island. It'll be Wessinger, Vega, and Lentini. Thompson with 3 strikeouts, 2 walks issued. Daryl's retired 4 straight going back to the 3rd inning. Set the Ducks down in order 1-2-3 in the 4th. With a pair of strikeouts as well. Both starting pitchers tonight, Kern and Thompson, pretty much what we expected, doing a very nice job. Wessinger flew out to right his first time up. St. John's University product, Matt Wessinger. He'll dig in right side, not wearing any batting gloves. Daryl gets his footing on the rubber off the third base edge. He's into the windup. Here's the pitch. Fastball in for a strike over the outside corner. Wessinger, 6 foot, 190 pounds. He's from Liverpool, New York. Thompson works quickly, kicks, delivers. Check swing, breaking ball. Low and away. 2 balls, no strikes. 1 ball and 1 strike. The scoreboard was off by a pitch. The windup and the pitch home. Swing and a foul back to the screen. Thompson into the windup. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball. Strike 3 called. Right over the outside corner. 4 strikeouts for Daryl Thompson.
Next up is number 27, Anthony Vega.
Top of the order here is Anthony Vega. Game tied at 1. Vega singled back in the first, and he walked in the third. Righty on lefty matchup. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Thompson starting to feel it. Got that changeup working, the curveball. By the way, Daryl has struck out 3 of the last 4 hitters that he has faced, and he's retired 5 straight. Here's the pitch home. Wave and a miss. And now it's quickly 0-2 with 1 out. 1-1 our score here in the top of the 5th inning. Thompson, of course, playing at the major league level. He made his major league debut against the New York Yankees. The pitch. Swung on, tipped foul off the mask of Molina, ricocheting back to the screen. Welcome to the big leagues, kid, right? June 21st, 2008 was the debut for Daryl Thompson. pitched at Yankee Stadium against the Yankees for the Reds. He went 5 innings, allowing just 4 hits, not factoring in the decision. The windup in the pitch. Swung on, popped him up. Back behind the plate, foul. Dropping over the screen and out of play. I'll never forget last year, Darryl was outside the clubhouse before one of his starts. He was cleaning off his cleats. And I asked him, I said, hey, what was it like? I got to know. What was it like pitching, not just at the major league level, but pitching against the New York Yankees in your debut? And he said, well, what do you think? Okay, have a good start. Here's a swing and a miss. Another curveball, and Vegas swung right over. Good 12-6 curveball from Thompson, who also, by the way, will feature a slider. We've seen that a couple of times here tonight. Darryl with 5 strikeouts. He's retired 6 straight. And 4 of the last 5 hitters have been down on strikes. All swinging, by the way. 1-1 our score. 2 outs, nobody on. Top of the 5th inning. And Felante Lentini will come to the plate. He's 0 for 2. The offense is much more calm tonight and much more leveled, if you will, for both teams. Last night, again, 22 hits for the Ducks. 3 off, 25 hits, which occurred back in a game in 2011. Lentini swings and pushes it foul off to the right and out of play. They banged out 25 hits back in 2011, a season-high 22 last night. Their season-high before that was 20, and that was against the Blue Crabs in June, back on June 12th, on a Sunday, right here at this ballpark. And the guy at the plate, Lentini, on the first pitch that he saw, ripped it over the wall in center. 0-1 pitch. Wave and a miss at a breaking ball, and it's 0-2. Delta Cleary Jr. on deck. 1-1 our score, each team with 4 hits, top of the 5th inning. Outfielders play straight away. Lentini straightaway stance. Thompson turns, kicks, fires. Got him looking. Strike 3 over the outside corner. Thompson strikes out the side. He's got 6 here in the game. And he has now retired 7 straight. And he has struck out 5 of the last 6 hitters that he has faced. No runs, no hits, nobody left. Heading to the bottom of the 5th inning. The game is all tied at 1. Long Island and Southern Maryland. This is the Legal ID Shield, Southern Maryland Blue Crabs Baseball Network.
Hey Blue Crabs fans, join us at Regency Furniture Stadium on August 5th as your Southern Maryland Blue Crabs take on the York Revolution. It'll be Salute the Troop Night presented by Chick-fil-A of Charles County and the St. Charles Companies, as well as Craft Fair Night, Beach Party Night, and a firework extravaganza presented by PNC. The very next night on August 6th, the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs continue to take on the York Revolution for Southern Maryland Library Night presented by Southern Maryland Regional Library Association. It'll also be Urgent Care Night and a jersey auction presented by the University of Maryland Charles Regional Medical Center. For more information, log online to www.somdbluecrabs.com or call 301-638-9788.
Sanchez will lead things off. Bottom half of the 5th inning, Ducks and the Blue Crabs all tied at 1. Another inning of work for Bruce Kern. 9-1-2 in the order. The windup in the pitch. Sanchez swings and pushes it on the ground to second. Wessinger with an easy play scooping, and he sidearms to first. 1 pitch, 1 out. Blue Crabs and the Ducks each with 4 hits apiece. 1 out, nobody on. Richardson will come to the plate, top of the order. Ducks, Blue Crabs all tied here in Game 2 of this 3-game series. 1-1 our score. Game 3 tomorrow, 2:05 first pitch. The story of tonight's game has been the starting pitchers, Bruce Kern and Darrell Thompson. Kern, 39 strikes thrown, 14 balls, a pitch count of 53. The windup and the pitch. Richardson takes a called strike in at the knees. Switch hitter batting from the left side. He has struck out swinging twice, and both times he has struck out swinging over a curveball. 1 out, 1-1. The 0-1 pitch home. Down and in. Curveball missing. 1 ball and 1 strike. Kern into the windup. Here's the pitch. Outside, a fastball runs off the corner. 16th time these two teams are meeting, the Ducks and the Blue Crabs this year. Blue Crabs 3-12 against Long Island. The pitch. In for a strike over the inside corner. Coming into the night, Long Island has outscored the Blue Crabs 103-49. And additionally, Long Island has won each season series since 2013, a record of 49-26 against the Blue Crabs. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss on a fastball. Richardson down on strikes for the 3rd time this evening. All 3 strikeouts from Kern have come at the expense of Antoine Richardson. Here's Darby Myers. 2 outs, nobody on. 1-1 our score, Ducks Blue Crabs. Myers extending his hitting streak to 19 games with a single, a stolen base in the 1st. And he walked back in the 3rd. Righty on righty matchup. Here's the windup and the pitch to the plate. Outside and low. 1 ball and no strikes. Kern looking for the 1-2-3 inning. The windup and the pitch. Myers squares, pulls back, takes a strike over the outer 3rd. You know, I've never understood why, and it looked like right there Myers was taking all the way. That's why he squared around to bunt and nonchalantly pulled back. I never know why guys, if they're going to know they're going to take, why try to bunt or why square to bunt? Blowing away on the next offering. Like right there, Myers just looked it into the mitt. Why not, if you're going to take all the way, wouldn't it be more effective to look it into the mitt rather than square around to bunt? I think it's more of a distraction. If you're going to take all the way, just look it straight into the mitt. That's what Pete Rose used to do. Here's a dribbler foul towards the 3rd base side, right near the on-deck circle. I don't know, I'm just kind of spitballing. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 1-1 our score. We're in the last of the 5th inning. Kern looking for the 1-2-3 inning. 2-2 pitch home. Swing and a ball pushed foul off to the right and out of play. Now, I'm not questioning Myers because, again, he's a 19-game hitting streak. He knows what he's doing, I'd say. Which, by the way, he is 1st in batting average coming into the game in the Atlantic League the last 30 days at .438. Here's a swing and a foul out of play right side. He also is 1st in hits the last 30 days with 42. What an addition he's been for Southern Maryland. I said this before the All-Star break. I think arguably he could have been in the All-Star game with the stretch he has had here the last month and a half. Maybe a replacement. 2-2. Wave and a miss. And he's down on strikes. 4 strikeouts for Bruce Kerner. Works a 1-2-3 inning, and he's retired 5 straight. At the end of 5 innings of play, Long Island and Southern Maryland all tied at 1. This is the Legal ID Shield, Southern Maryland Blue Crabs Baseball Network.
Hey Blue Crabs fans, join us at the ballpark on August 7th as your Southern Maryland Blue Crabs take on the York Revolution. It's Chick-fil-A Backfin Buddies Day number 7, babies in baseball, as well as pregame autograph sessions, kids play in Pinch's Playground for free, and postgame kids run the bases. After about a week off, the Blue Crabs come back to town on August 15th against the Bridgeport Bluefish for Bark in the Park presented by Perfect Pet Resort, as well as Dollar Hot Dog Night. And then on August 16th, it's Hearing Professional Silver Sluggers Day number 8, Shirt Off Your Back Clothing Drive, Thankful Tuesday, as well as free popcorn presented by RST Theaters Lexington Exchange for the first 500 fans. For more information, call 301-638-9788 or visit www.somdbluecrabs.com.
Long Island, Southern Maryland, all tied at 1 here at Regency Furniture Stadium as we head to the top of the 6th inning. Game 2 of this 3-game series. Delta Cleary Jr. will lead things off. Switch hitter batting from the left side against the right-hander Darrell Thompson. Here's the windup and the pitch. High and tight with the fastball. And it's 1-0. Cleary Jr. flew out to right his first time up and walked in his last plate appearance in the 3rd. The kick and the 1-0. Swing and a fly ball lofted in the air to left. Richardson back and to his right on the angle. Makes a one-hand catch in stride, 3 feet from the warning track. Here's Cody Puckett with 1 out here in this top of the 6th inning. You know, there's a couple of things I look at with the Ducks this year and their success. They've got 50 wins. They had 40 wins in the first half, clinching the Liberty division. But look at their home record, 31-12, as compared to their road record. They're under 500 on the road at 19-21. But against Freedom Division opponents, they're 28-19. First offering to Puckett, low and away with a curveball. And it's 1-0. They're the best team, though, record-wise in the Atlantic League. And I think on paper, too. They've got 50 wins, 33 losses, 10-3 here in second half play. 1-0 pitch. Swung on, ground to third. Nelson down to his right knee to field. Straightens up, fires it across the diamond. Puckett retired. 5-3 put out, 2 outs, nobody on. Game tied at 1, top of the 6th. And now Dan Lyons will come to the plate to try to keep the inning alive. I've had a good time watching these two pitchers go at it tonight, Bruce Kern and Darrell Thompson. Thompson has retired 9 straight, starting back in the 3rd inning with 2 outs. Each team scoring their runs in the bottom of the 2nd, or I should say in the 2nd inning in total. Here's the windup and the first offering to Lyons. Dan squares, pulls back, and takes outside. 5 of the last 9 batters Darrell has faced, he has struck him out. Darrell with 6 strikeouts in the game. He's into his windup. Here's the pitch. Low and away with a fastball. 2 balls, no strikes. Lyons in his 6th season with the Ducks. .2-0 pitch. Swung on, popped up foul off third. Nelson weaving into foul territory as he watches it twist out of play. Had a nice catch by a fan. Barehanded, belt high. Good catch. Let's see, about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 rows. 11 rows deep beyond the third base side dugout. Good catch. Very impressive. He had some time to get under it, too. It was high up in the air. 2-1, 2 outs, nobody on, 1-1 our score. Again, Thompson has retired 9 straight. Here's the pitch. Strike called over the outside corner. Good fastball. Right there, knee high. 2-2. On the out-of-town scoreboard, Skeeter's 3-0 lead over the Revolution at Constellation Field. Top 7 at Harbor Yard. Bees 3-1 lead over the Bluefish in the bottom of the 3rd at Clipper Magazine Stadium. Barnstormers 2-1 lead over the Patriots. High and away with the fastball on the 2-2 offering. Now it's 3-2. On the Major League Baseball side of things, bottom of the 11th inning, Giants, Yankees all tied at 1. 2 outs, 3-2. In tight with the fastball, ball 4. That breaks the span of 9 straight retired by Thompson, who's walked 3 batters in the game. As the inning is kept alive for Mark Minikazi. Nobody loosening in the bullpen down the left field line. Same thing down the right field line for the Ducks. Both bullpens empty. Blue Crabs left field side, Ducks right field side. Minikazi with an RBI single in the 2nd inning, and he struck out swinging in the 4th. Padres 2-0 lead over the Nationals, bottom of the 3rd. Orioles 3-0 lead over Cleveland, top of the 3rd. The pitch. Swing and a soft liner into left. That's down, a base hit. Richardson cutting it off, the left fielder in the gap, fielding it cleanly. Lyons stops at 2nd base. The Ducks have a threat here. 1st and 2nd, top of the 6th inning, 2 outs, game tied at 1. That was right off the end of the bat for Minikazi, who earns his 7th hit of the series. He is now 7 for 9. Here comes manager Jeremy Owens. Ducks have 5 hits here in the game. Tyler Colvin, a dangerous hitter, will come to the plate. Elsewhere around Major League Baseball, the Reds with a 3-1 lead over the Diamondbacks, bottom of the second inning. Jose Fernandez on the mound tonight for the Marlins. Miami down 2-1 to the Mets, bottom of the third. Milwaukee 2-0 lead over the Cubs, bottom three. White Sox and the Tigers in the bottom of the second are in a delay. Chicago a 2-1 lead. Astros 3-0 lead over the Angels, bottom three. Bottom second, Twins 4-1 lead over the Red Sox. Bottom of the third, Dodgers 4-0 lead over the Cardinals. Kansas City a 1-0 lead over the Rangers, bottom of the third. Meeting at the mound over, Colvin the DH, 0 for 2 in the game. Left-handed batter, slightly open stance. Thompson sets, checks the runner, delivers home. Swing and a line drive, pulled foul, up the right field side and out of play. Colvin turning on that fastball in the inner half. And it's 0-1. Atlanta, Colorado ready to get underway in about 5 minutes. 9:05 start, Tampa Bay and Oakland. Pirates defeated the Phillies today 7-4. Seattle 14-5 win over Toronto. Thompson has thrown 87 pitches up to this point. We're in the top of the sixth, 1-1. The pitch. Colvin swings and lifts it foul out of play up the left field side. Colvin in the 0-2 hole. He struck out back in the second inning, and he popped out to the shortstop Garcia in the fourth. Mike Blank is on deck. Ducks coming in having won 7 of their last 8 games. Nelson plays well off the line at third. Garcia, the shortstop, shaded towards the middle, almost directly behind the bag. First and second, 0-2. Up high with a fastball. Pretty good miss pitch. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Lions walked with 2 outs. He's at second. Minakazi with a little flare single in the left center field. He's at first. Lights on here at the ballpark. 2 outs, 1 ball, 2 strikes is the count. The pitch on the way. Down and in with a breaking ball and a smothering block by Molina moving to his right. And now it's 2-2. Thompson wiping the sweat off his brow. Bullpen up and stirring right now for Southern Maryland. Looks like Navery Moore is about to get loose. 2 outs, check of the runner at second base. 2-2 pitch. Fastball lifted in the air, left center field deep. Brown racing back to his right. Richardson is there as well to his left. Antoine, the left fielder, makes a one-hand catch as he steps onto the warning track near the alleyway. Colvin flying out with runners at first and second. That'll do it. No runs, a hit, a walk, 2 men left. We head to the bottom half of the 6th inning. Long Island, Southern Maryland, all tied at 1. This is the Legal ID Shield, Southern Maryland Blue Crabs Baseball Network.
ID Shield, a division of Legal Shield, continues the mission of providing identity protection to more than 1 million people in 50 states and 4 Canadian provinces. Teamed with Crow, no other company combines the expertise of the most knowledgeable identity protection specialists in the industry. The team of dedicated individuals does whatever it takes for as long as it takes to keep you and your family safe. For more information, log on to www.legalshieldassociate.com/BowareMJ or contact Marcellus and Jeanette Boware at 571-337-3588.
After the 6th inning here at Regency Furniture Stadium, Ducks Blue Crabs are all tied at 1. It'll be Nelson, Marte, and Molina. Heart of the order, 3-4-5 due up for the Blue Crabs up against Bruce Kern, the right-hander. And again, I'll say it once more. I've had a good time watching Kern and Thompson pitch tonight. Now, there is bullpen activity down the left field line for the Blue Crabs. And Avery Moore, the right-hander, loosening. The bullpen begins to stir for Long Island. Nobody up and throwing just yet. A couple of guys stretching. Kern ready to operate, middle of the rubber. Nelson, switch hitter, batting from the left side. He's 0 for 2 tonight. Bruce into the windup. Here's the pitch. Inside with a fastball, backing Nelson off the plate. Bryant, 42 years of age, in his 23rd professional season. Second year with Southern Maryland. Here's the windup and the 1-0. A little bit low with the changeup. I asked him yesterday how long he was going to play for. How much longer, how many more years will he play? Because, again, he's 42 years old. So nobody really knows. 2-0. Swing and a line drive. Center field, a base hit. And Nelson is now 9 hits away from overtaking Jeff Nettles' mark of 1,052 hits for the most in Atlantic League history. But anyway, speaking with Bryant yesterday, he told me he just doesn't know. He really does not know how much longer he's going to play. But I can tell you this much. With Bryant, Nelson, I have a feeling, and I've heard this from scouts before as well, that were here earlier in the season scouting some games, that they can easily see him being a coach or a manager someday. I agree completely. I really do. He knows the game of baseball. Here's Marte, game tied at 1. The pitch. Alfredo takes a called strike, a curveball. And it's 0-1. Blue Crabs now with 5 hits, matching the Ducks' 5 hits. Game tied at 1. The Ducks with a run in the top of the second. On the mark, Minakazi RBI single. Blue Crabs tied it in the bottom of the frame in that inning. On that error by the third baseman Puckett, Wilson came around to score. Next offering, low and away. And a backhand pick by Blank. 1 ball and 1 strike. Marte, right-handed hitter, 0 for 2 in the game. Nelson with his lead off first base, held on by Minakazi. Bryant with 9 stolen bases and 13 attempts. Wind blows out to left center field. 1-1. Down and in with a fastball. Remember those balloons I was telling you about that were around the concourse and hung all over the ballpark tonight? In pink, of course, for Paint the Park Pink Night. Well, some of those balloons, 3 of them in fact, are up in the air right now and sailing away into the sky, into the dark night sky. I guess the knot came undone. Here's the pitch. A swing, a line drive, right center field. That's down for a base hit. Cleary Jr. quickly charging from center. He plays it on 1 bounce and fires it into the left side of the infield. Nelson stops at second. Back-to-back hits. Blue Crabs have something cooking here in the bottom half of the 6th inning, and they may be getting to a tired Bruce Kern. Bruce has thrown 49 strikes, 22 balls, a pitch count of 71. Here's Gustavo Molina. Kevin Baez, the manager, out of the first base side dugout. He'll talk things over with Kern. As Molina, 1 out of 2 in the game, a single in the 4th, wiping the sweat off his brow. He will get set to climb in. Kern, his 2nd season with the Ducks. He made Long Island's roster last year as a spring training invitee. This year, good year, 4-1. He comes in having won 4 straight outings. His ERA at 2.40 coming in, and he's done a nice job here tonight. Good pitcher, 3-pitch repertoire, fastball, changeup, curveball. And again, bullpen activity down the left field line and the right field line for the Blue Crabs and Ducks, respectively. Kern twirls around towards second, faking the throw and chasing Nelson back towards the bag. Possible bunting situation here. It would have surprised me a little bit, though, with Molina up, a guy who's got some pop, some real power. Check of the runner. Not squaring Molina. The first pitch is swung on and grounded to third. Snagged by Puckett. Sidearms to second 1. Wessinger's turn on to first is in time. Around the horn. 5-4-3 double play. Marte erased off the base paths. Nelson into third base. Puckett was guarding against the bunt. He was up on the cut of the grass at third. He snagged it nicely on the glove side. Took a weird hop off the lip of the grass. And he was kind of handcuffed a little bit, but once he gloved it, got it out of his mitt, sidearm to second. And then Wessinger completed that double play. Or at least was in the middle of it. Minakazi completed it, catching it over at first base. 5-4-3 double play. Here's Wilson. 2 outs, the pitch. Zach takes low and away with the slider. 1-1 our score, bottom of the 6th inning. The pitch in the dirt, snagged by Blank. Moving to his right, towards the first base side. Nicely done there by Mike. Two balls, no strikes to Wilson. The pitch, up high with a fastball. And now it is 3 balls and no strikes. Wilson, 1 out of 2, a single and a run scored back in the 2nd. May have the green light here, we'll see. Nelson is leading foul territory at 3rd. 2 hits in the inning for the Blue Crabs, game tied at 1. Here's the pitch. Zach looks it into the mitt, fastball strike. And there at the knees, 3-1. Wilson, his 2nd season with the Blue Crabs. Last year, a phenomenal second half. In fact, he was an all-star last year. The pitch. Inside, that's ball 4. Good eye by Wilson on that breaking ball. Second walk issued by Kern, runners at the corners. Blue Crabs, by the way, tonight have left 4 runners on and 2 of them in scoring position. Here's Eric Garcia with a chance. 1-1 our score, bottom of the 6th, 2 outs. Garcia 1 out of 2, a single back in the 2nd inning. He drove in 4 runs, Garcia did, back on the 18th against Lancaster. 0 for 4 last night. The pitch on the way. Up high with a fastball. He's 10 for 55 this year against the Ducks. Outfielder shading towards left center field. Lights on here at the ballpark. Here's the set position. 1-0 home. Beaten into the ground, foul at the plate. The Crabs coming in as a team hitting .246 against the Ducks this year. .261 in total. The bottom 3 in that category in the Atlantic League. Southern Maryland getting better offensively, though. They came out of the gate after the All-Star break hitting well. Garcia swings and pops it foul off 3rd. Puckett weaving into foul territory, stepping onto the warning track, and he runs out of room as it twists out of play towards the furthest end of the Blue Crabs dugout. Southern Maryland, by the way, I mentioned that they've been hitting well as of late. And even last night, after losing 15-2, they still banged out 10 hits. In their last 5 games, they're hitting .319. Their last 10 games, hitting .299 as a club. Offensively, they're getting better. I think pitching-wise, take away last night, they're doing a lot better. Here's the pitch. Got him looking. Strike 3, a breaking ball. Right there at the knees. Garcia is down on strikes. Yeah, by the way, pitching-wise, 44 innings over that 7-game road trip. An ERA of 3.27. 33 strikeouts and 10 walks. They're starting to get a lot better here. But right there, Garcia strikes out looking, and the Blue Crabs leaving runners at the corners. At the end of 6 innings of play, the Ducks and the Blue Crabs all tied at 1. Heading to the top of the 7th, this is the Legal ID Shield, Southern Maryland Blue Crabs Baseball Network.
Since 2013, over 1 billion records have been compromised right here in our great nation. ID Shield's comprehensive identity protection service monitors for all signs of criminal activity and gives you all the resources you need to keep your identity secure from fraud. For just $9.95 per month, ID Shield provides unlimited consultation, complete monitoring, and a $5 million service guarantee. For more information, contact Marcellus and Jeanette Bower at 571-337-3588 or log on to www.legalshieldassociate.com/BowerMJ.
This is Scott Snodgrass, and you're listening to the Blue Crabs Baseball Network.
Avery Moore is the new pitcher heading to the top of the 7th inning. Ducks, Blue Crabs all tied at 1. Moore is on relief for Darrell Thompson, who at one point in the game retired 9 straight. 6 innings, 1 earned run, 5 hits, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts. Another quality start for Darrell. Now it's Avery Moore. First pitcher out of the bullpen tonight for Southern Maryland. It'll be Blank, Wessinger, and Vega due up. Blue Crabs out-hitting the Ducks 6-5. Blank 4 hits last night for the first time this season. 4 RBIs for the 3rd time for him here in 2016. He's now reached base safely in 11 consecutive games with his hit back in the 2nd inning tonight. Righty on righty matchup. Here's the pitch to Moore. Or I should say Blank. It's a strike over the outside corner from Avery Moore, who comes in with a 2-0 record, a 2.43 ERA, 38th game, 37 innings, 10 earned runs, 23 walks, and 38 strikeouts. Wessinger on deck. A 1 pitch. Breaking ball tipped foul at the plate. And it's 0-2. Ducks tonight wearing the gray jerseys, and I can see from up here the perspiration and the jersey soaked with the sweat of Blank, who is the catcher tonight. It is a hot night, 94 degrees at first pitch. 0-2. Inside. Tomorrow it's supposed to get up to close to 100. Today was ridiculously hot. Tomorrow it's supposed to be pretty much the same thing, though, which I'm surprised. No rain in the forecast. Usually with all that humidity, there's some rain. 1-2. Swing and a line drive, lashed foul down the right field side into the crowd. I will say it is a nice twilight sky up above. I like it, of course, when there is no rain in the forecast, but it's just ridiculously hot. I guess beggars can't be choosers. I guess kind of that old saying applies to this. You either get rain or you get that hot temperature. I'll take the temperature. Here's a foul back to the screen. 1-2. Wind blowing out to left center field. Good crowd on hand here tonight. Moore coming set. 1-2 pitch. Down and in with a breaking ball. Now the count levels to 2-2 to Blank. Guy who started his college career at Seton Hall University. And then he went to junior college for a year, transferred to the University of Tampa, one of the best D2 schools in the entire country. The pitch, swing and a miss. And down goes Blank on a curveball. 7 strikeouts for Southern Maryland pitching. Good start for Avery Moore to his outing. 1 out, nobody on for Matt Wessinger. Game tied at 1, top of the 7th inning. Yeah, I mentioned it with the Blue Crabs pretty much going to break about their pitching staff. They put together some real good outings. The starting pitching staff, as Wessinger looks at a strike, over that 7-game road trip. 5 quality starts from Burris, Hernandez, Thompson, Grenning, and then again by Burris as the next offering misses low and away. 1 ball and 1 strike, but that has been really improving. The bullpen has been very solid as of late. In fact, the bullpen staff with a 3.53 ERA here at home, a 4.24 ERA here in the month of July as the pitch is fouled back to the screen. The ERA was just over 3 in the month of June. And I think, of course, that ERA rising last night with the outing of Marshall. Here's the pitch in the dirt. And the count levels to 2-2. But I look at the bigger picture, and I think things are really looking up for the Blue Crabs here. But I think, in my opinion, they need to win tonight's game and they need to win tomorrow's game, take 2 of 3 from the best team in the Atlantic League, and they could really be rolling heading into that 7-game road trip starting with Bridgeport. Strike 3 called on the next offering. Good pitch from Avery Moore. Back-to-back strikeouts. Wessinger 0 for 3 in the game. He has struck out twice and has flied out to right. Here's Anthony Vega. He's Scott Main loosening down the left field line. The bullpen. Jeremy Owens will take the ball from Avery Moore, who is finished. Main will come into the game. 2 outs, nobody on. Anthony Vega coming to the plate. Top of the 7th inning, 2 outs, 1-1 our score on the Legal ID Shield Southern Maryland Blue Crabs Baseball Network.
ID Shield is the best way to protect your identity. If you become a victim of identity theft, ID Shield spends up to $5 million to do everything that it can to restore your identity. ID Shield is dedicated to your safety. Their identity specialists are focused on protecting you. They provide you with the services that walk you through all the steps to protect yourself. ID Shield monitors all of your personal information from social security numbers, credit cards, and bank accounts. ID Shield monitors everything from your passport, email, phone numbers, driver's license information, and much more. ID Shield is the only company that is partnered with Kroll, the worldwide leader in theft investigative services. ID Shield partner with Kroll protects the identities of more than 1 million people in 50 states and 4 Canadian provinces. For more information, call 571-337-3588 or log on to www.legalshieldassociate.com/BowareMJ.
This is Jeremy Owens, manager of the Blue Crabs. Thanks for listening to Blue Crab Baseball. Now back to the game.
Scott Main, the new pitcher, 2 outs. Anthony Vega will hit. 1-1 our score. Ducks and the Blue Crabs game 2 of this 3-game series. Avery Moore retiring the only 2 hitters that he faced out of the bullpen, striking them both out, Blank and Weschinger. Now it's going to be a lefty-on-lefty matchup here, as Jeremy Owens, the manager, playing the matchups. Scott Main, the left-hander, out of the bullpen, 3.10 ERA, 0-2, 28th game. 20 1/3 innings pitched. 7 earned runs, 8 walks, 19 strikeouts. Opponents are hitting .284 off of the left-hander. I think he's got new walkout music. It sounds like it's slower walkout music, too. So Main is ready to work. Anthony Vega has been on base twice. He singled and stole a base back in the first, walked in the third, struck out swinging in the 5th. Gorgeous night here at the ballpark tonight. Vega, the former Blue Crab, will climb in. He homered last night over the Grill 13 Mini Monster and left. Nelson comes up on the cut of the grass at third. Combination of Moore and Main looking for the 1-2-3 inning. Here's the pitch. Vega squares, takes a strike over the outside corner. Main sets. Now kicks and delivers. Swinging a foul off to the left and out of play. Fans, be sure to join us on August 6th as the Blue Crabs take on the York Revolution at Southern Maryland Library Night, presented by Southern Maryland Regional Library Association. For tickets and information, log on to somdbluecrabs.com or call 301-638-9788. 2 outs, the 0-2 pitch. Down and away, a sweeping slider. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Main is the lefty specialist in that Blue Crabs bullpen. And he's facing the left-handed hitter, Anthony Vega. Righty loosening down the left field line. The bullpen for Southern Maryland. There is activity down the right field line for the Ducks. 2 outs. 1-2 pitch home. Swing and a miss. Combination of Moore and Main striking out the side. 9 strikeouts for Southern Maryland pitching this evening. No runs, no hits, nobody left. Stretch time, bottom of the 7th. Game all tied at 1. Ducks and the Blue Crabs on the Legal ID Shield Southern Maryland Blue Crabs Baseball Network.
Legal issues can mean trouble for anyone, no matter how much money you have. Legal Shield can help with a range of legal services. Legal Shield believes in educating and serving their members to improve their lives. Legal Shield partners with providing law firms across the United States and 4 provinces in Canada to help you with any issue you can think of. For more information, contact Marcellus and Jeanette Boweir at 571-337-3588 or log on to www.legalshieldassociate.com/BoweirMJ.
This is Cody Eppley, and you're listening to Blue Crabs Baseball on the Blue Crabs Baseball Network.
Last of the 7th inning, game all tied at 1. The Ducks and the Blue Crabs. Yuri De La Rosa, hard-throwing left-hander, is on relief for Bruce Kern, who pitched a quality start tonight. 6 innings, 1 run. It was not earned. 6 hits, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. De La Rosa 2-2, 2.81 ERA, 35th game, 32 innings, 11 walks, 44 strikeouts. Opponents hitting .218 off of the left-hander. Gary Brown will lead things off. Thompson on the other side, a quality start. 6 innings, 1 earned run, 5 hits, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts. De La Rosa ready to work to Brown, right-handed batter. Here's the pitch. Gary swings and lifts it in the air, deep left center field. Long run, Vega going back. He looks up, and it's gone over the wall in left center field in the alleyway. Gary Brown, a solo home run, his 3rd of the year, RBI number 12. He hit a 2-run home run last night. He was responsible for the only Blue Crabs runs with that 2-run shot in the 4th. And here tonight, in the bottom of the 7th inning, a solo home run to give the Blue Crabs a 2-1 lead. Here's Angel Sanchez. Sanchez, a right-handed hitter. The pitch on the way. Swing and a looper along the right field line, slicing foul. And up against the sidewall. So the Blue Crabs now with 7 hits. Gary Brown 1 for 3. Sanchez 0 for 2 in the game. Two to 1 Blue Crabs. The pitch on the way. Swing and a fly ball lifted high in the air to medium depth right. Lentini walking and now jogging over to his right. Phelant makes a one-hand catch. 1 out, nobody on for Antoine Richardson. Game 2 of this 3-game series. Game 3 tomorrow at 2:05, the finale. And the Blue Crabs hoping that they'll have a chance to win the series tomorrow, hoping that they can push it to a rubber match. Richardson will turn around, bat from the right side. He has struck out 3 times tonight. 1 out, nobody on. The pitch. He squares and pops up the bunt foul. First base side, landing right on the white painted Wawa logo. About halfway down the line on the grass. 0-1 to Antoine Richardson, the left fielder, with Darby Myers, the right fielder, waiting to hit next. 2-1. Bottom of the 7th. Blue Crabs out in front. Gary Brown's solo home run here in the inning is the difference in the game. De La Rosa, his first season with the Ducks. 2 years of Major League experience with the Diamondbacks, 2013 to 2014. The pitch. Swinging a hot shot to third, knocked down by Puckett on the grass. Recovers, up to his feet, and slings it across. Richardson out by 2 steps. That was a hot shot off the bat of Antoine. Good job by Puckett, knocking it down at the chest as he was playing in about 2 feet on the grass. He picked it up, straightened the body, and made an accurate throw to first. Two outs, nobody on. Here's Darby Myers, 2-1. Crabs out in front. Myers hits from the right side. Here's the pitch. Outside and low. Darby extending his hitting streak to 19 games with a single back in the first. He walked in his second plate appearance in the third and struck out swinging in the fifth. The pitch on the way. Check swing. On the appeal, and he went. John Epperson, the first base umpire, making his first call on a half swing tonight. 1 ball and 1 strike. 2 outs, nobody on. 2-1 Blue Crabs. Southern Maryland 7 hits here in the game. The Ducks with 5 hits. Bullpen is empty down the left field line for Southern Maryland. Now the 1-1. Swung on, beaten into the ground, foul. Right there at the home plate area. As it is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Darby's a guy who can play anywhere in the outfield. He's played all 3 outfield positions. When Brown was hurt, he was playing in center field, and he did a phenomenal job running down some fly balls that looked like they were going to be trouble in extra base hits. He's got a lot of speed, and he gets great jumps on baseballs, and he also runs great routes, which is a key for all outfielders. 2 outs. Lefty deals. Slider, strike 3 called. A sweeping slider at the knees. 6 strikeouts for Long Island pitching here tonight. Gary Brown with a solo home run to start the inning. That home run to left center field, giving the Blue Crabs the 2-1 lead as we head to the top half of the 8th inning. Blue Crabs up 2-1. This is the Legal ID Shield, Southern Maryland Blue Crabs Baseball Network. Blue Crabs fans, come out to the ballpark August 17th against the Bridgeport Bluefish. It's Coors Light Can Do Wednesday. $3 Coors Light beers from 5:30 to the middle of the 5th inning. For more information, call 301-638-9788 or log on to somdbluecrabs.com.
ID Shield is the best way to protect your identity. If you become a victim of identity theft, ID Shield spends up to $5 million to do everything that it can to restore your identity. ID Shield is dedicated to your safety. Their identity specialists are focused on protecting you. They provide you with the services that walk you through all the steps to protect yourself. ID Shield monitors all of your personal information from social security numbers, credit cards, and bank accounts. ID Shield monitors everything from your passport, email, phone numbers, driver's license information, and much more. ID Shield is the only company that is partnered with Kroll, the worldwide leader in theft investigative services. ID Shield partner with Kroll protects the identities of more than 1 million people in 50 states and 4 Canadian provinces. For more information, call 571-337-3588 or log on to www.legalshieldassociate.com/BowareMJ.
Moving on to the top of the 8th inning here at Regency Furniture Stadium. Southern Maryland up 2-1, 2 runs on 7 hits. The Ducks 1 run, 5 hits, and 1 error committed. The difference in the game, Gary Brown's solo home run over the wall in left center in the bottom half of last inning in the 7th. Each team scoring a run in the 2nd inning. Minikazi responsible for the only Ducks run tonight with an RBI single. Blue Crabs getting on the board in the bottom of the 2nd. As they pushed a run across on the error committed by the 3rd baseman Cody Puckett, allowing Zach Wilson to score. And Gary Brown with home run number 3 on the year, RBI number 12 in the bottom of the 7th. And that's the difference in the game. 2-1 Blue Crabs. Scott Main's 2nd inning of work. A combination of Thompson, Moore, and Main with 9 strikeouts here tonight. Darrell Thompson, a good outing. A quality start, 6 innings, 1 earned run, 5 hits, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts. At one point in the game, retiring 9 straight. Velant Lentini will start things 2-3-4 in the order. Lentini, Cleary Jr., and Puckett. Velant is 0 for 3 in the game. Guy who went 3 for 5 with a home run last night. Right-handed hitter. .38 years of age, up against the veteran Scott Main in his second inning of work. Pitch on the way. In for a strike, clipping the outside corner. Craig Stem is loosening down the left field line in the bullpen for the Blue Crabs. The pitch, a swing and a ground ball off the end of the bat towards the middle. Sanchez moving to his right, backhand pick by the second baseman, and he slings it across his body to first for the out. That had hollow sound to it off the end of the bat of Lentini, who is now 0 for 4. Here's Delta Cleary Jr., who's 0 for 2 with a walk. The number 3 hitter, switch hitter, batting from the right side against Scott Main. The left-hander. Avery Moore, 2/3 of an inning, striking out the 2 batters that he faced. The Crabs will obviously be looking for more runs in the bottom of the 8th inning. Here's the pitch. Slider strike over the outer third. No lead is safe with this high-powered Ducks offense that, again, coming in, has scored the most runs in the league at 421. And a .283 batting average, the highest in the league as well. The 0-1 pitch. Swinging a ground ball, weakly hit to short. Garcia charges, scoops, and slings to first. Cleary Jr. out by 2 steps. 2 outs, nobody on. 2-1 Blue Crabs. Here comes Jeremy Owens. Cody Puckett, a right-handed hitter, will bat. Dangerous hitter at that. One swing at bat, he can tie this thing. So this will be it. A call to the bullpen. 2 outs, nobody on. Top of the 8th. Blue Crabs are up 2-1. Scott Main jogs off the mound to a nice ovation. Cody Puckett will come to the plate. 2-1 Blue Crabs. 2 outs. Top of the 8th on the Legal ID Shield Southern Maryland Blue Crabs Baseball Network.
Blue Crabs fans, is your brand, business, or organization looking to increase exposure and gain new and diverse consumers in this Southern Maryland market? Look no further than the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs and Regency Furniture Stadium. Our business partners are afforded unparalleled access to our consumer base of fans from attractive and potentially lucrative demographics with disposable income. Call today at 301-374-1133 for more information or to set up a consultation.
Piece of land out in the countryside. Lay back and smell the sun. Warm up the Georgia pie. It's so good to be taking it easy. Why would I ever leave? 'Cause I know I got some good friends that live down the street. Got a good...
This is Justin Berg. Thanks for listening to Blue Crabs Baseball. Now back to the game.
Craig Stem is the new pitcher. 2 outs, nobody on. 2-1 Blue Crabs. Top of the 8th inning. Stem on in relief for Scott Main. Ready on ready matchup. Puckett digging in. Here's the pitch. In for a strike over the inside corner. Stem 2-5, 5.90 ERA. 31 games, 39 2/3 innings pitched, 19 walks, 31 strikeouts. The pitch. Low and away. Puckett tonight, a single a run scored in the second, grounding into a fielder's choice in the third, and he grounded out to the third baseman Nelson in the 6th. A pair of ground outs induced by Scott Main. He gives way to Stem. The pitch. Up high with a fastball. Main working 1 inning, striking out 1, throwing 8 pitches, all for strikes. Avery Moore 2/3 of an inning, striking out the 2 batters that he faced. Darrell Thompson, a quality start tonight, 6 innings, 1 earned run, 5 hits, 6 strikeouts, 90 pitches. 2-1. Strike called over the outside. Puckett with that long hair flowing down to his shoulders. Adjusting the black batting gloves outside the right-handed batter's box. 2-2 with 2 outs. Lions is the on-deck hitter. Stem looking for the strikeout. The 2-2 on the way. Swing and a line drive off the end of the bat. That's down into right field for a base hit. Myers fielding it cleanly, and the inning kept alive. Cody Eppley, who blew the save on Thursday against the Revolution, is still sitting down. I wonder when he will start to get loose here. We're in the top of the 8th. 2 outs, 2-1 Blue Crabs. Dan Lyons will climb in. Ducks with 6 hits now in the game. Lyons walked back in the 6th. He's 0 for 2. Lights on here at the ballpark. There is fireworks expected after the game. Two outs. Here's the pitch. In the dirt. Scooped by Molina. One ball and no strikes. Lyons 5'10", 185 pounds. He's from Rochester, Minnesota. Outside target, 1-0. Up high with a fastball. And it's 2-0. Last year, Lyons spent the entire season with Long Island, posting career highs in average hits, home runs, RBIs, his slugging percentage, OPS, and total bases. 2-0. Puckett the lead at first, not running. Pitch. Tad outside. That didn't miss by much. An extra stare in from Craig Stem, 3-0. He thought that pitch was right there on the outside corner. Minikazi is on deck. Right-handed hitter, 3-0. Strike called. Lions taking all the way. And it's 3-1. You know, Stem has good fastball ranges in the low 90s. He just has to keep control of it. He made his Blue Crabs debut in a spot start on the first against New Britain the same day he was traded from the Bees. Baseball onto the field, and the third base umpire, Donald Mayer, recognizing it at the last second, asking for time. That baseball coming from the bullpen down the left field line. Carson, left-hander, loosening. The guy in the hole, by the way, Tyler Colvin, a left-handed hitter. 3-1 pitch. Swung on, tipped foul into the mid of Molina. 3-2, 2 outs. Puckett will get a head start. 2-1 Blue Crabs, top of the 8th. Stem sets, Puckett the lead at first. Breaks for second, 3-2. Swing and a miss, struck him out. 10th strikeout for Southern Maryland pitching this evening. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 man left on base. Heading to the bottom of the 8th inning, Southern Maryland 2 and Long Island 1. This is the Legal ID Shield Southern Maryland Blue Crabs Baseball Network. Blue Crabs fans, great seats are still available. Group tickets start as low as $10 per person. We also offer very affordable luxury suites and picnic area packages. For more information, log on to somdbluecrabs.com or call 301-638-9788.
If you can't make it to the park, you can listen to every Blue Crabs home game
on the Blue Crabs Baseball Network.
This is Jeremy Owens, manager of the Blue Crabs. Thanks for listening to Blue Crab Baseball. Now back to the game.
Melio Diaz is the new pitcher for Long Island as we head to the bottom half of the 8th inning. Blue Crabs up 2-1. The difference in the game, the Gary Brown solo home run in the bottom of the 7th. It'll be Nelson Marte and Molina due up against the right-hander Diaz. 4-2, 2.48 ERA, 35th game. 32 2/3 innings pitched. 9 earned runs, 4 walks, 39 strikeouts. Opponents are hitting .211 off of the right-hander, who is on relief for Yuri De La Rosa, who is right now in line for the loss. 1 inning. That 1 earned run, the Gary Brown home run in the 7th, and 1 strikeout. So far, a good job by the Blue Crabs bullpen tonight. The combination of Moore, Main, and Stem holding the Ducks scoreless, who, by the way, the Long Island Ducks scoring their only run in the top of the 2nd inning on the RBI single by Mark Minikazi. That's been it. Blue Crabs with a run in the 2nd and that run in the 7th. Nelson switch hitter. He'll turn around, bat from the left side. He singled in the 6th inning. He's 1 for 3. Ushkern did a nice job tonight for the Ducks. A quality start, 6 innings, 6 hits, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. He allowed a run, but it was not earned. Nelson 9 hits away from overtaking Jeff Nettles for the most hits all time in Atlantic League history. The pitch. In for a strike over the outside corner. So most likely, unless he goes like 7 for 7 or 8 for 8 tomorrow, which I think we can all agree will probably not happen. It will happen overtaking Nettles on the upcoming road trip, probably in Bridgeport. The 1 pitch. Swinging a ground ball towards the middle. Shuffling to his right is the second baseman, Wessinger. He's in front scooping and tosses to first for the out. One out for Alfredo Marte. 2-1 Blue Crabs. In the 9th inning, the Ducks will send Minikazi, Colvin, and Blank to the plate. Cody Epley, who has not pitched since blowing that save on Thursday, is loosening in the bullpen down the left field line. I see some heat lightning off to our left on the third base side. Nothing threatening. Righty on righty matchup now with 1 out, nobody on. The pitch on the way. Outside with a slider. From the belt. 1-0 pitch home. Strike called, clipping the outside corner. Diaz has not allowed any runs in his last 3 outings. 2nd season with the Ducks. Last year he was tied with teammate Patrick Kreider for the 2015 Atlantic League lead in appearances with 60. He's a workhorse out of the bullpen. 1-1. Swing and a miss on a fastball. And that's, by the way, evident this year where this is 35th game appearing. I think he can easily reach that mark of 60 this year, especially when we get down the stretch. Though, keep in mind the Ducks winning the Liberty Division in the first half, so they may take it easy for the month of August and then start to really ramp it up in September. 1-2. Swing and a miss. That fastball blown by the bat of Marte. 7 strikeouts for Long Island pitching. 2 outs, nobody on for Gustavo Molina. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th. Nobody on base. 2-1 Blue Crabs. Molina's 1 out of 3 with a single in the 4th. Righty on righty matchup. Again, Epley loosening down the left field line for the Blue Crabs in the bullpen. Pitch on the way. Swing and a pop foul off to the right and out of play. Outfielders play straight away. Diaz from the belt. 0-1 pitch. Up high with an off speed. Diaz 6'2", 210 pounds. He's from Puerto La Cruz, Venezuela. Spent the bulk of his career in the Angels organization from 2005 to 2011. Righty deals 1-1. Fastball low and away. 2 balls, 1 strike. 2-1 Blue Crabs, bottom of the 8th. Southern Maryland, by the way, out hitting the Ducks tonight 7-6. It's been a clean game for Southern Maryland up to this point. Diaz bending at the waist. Comes set, belt high. The pitch home. Swing and a ball hooked in the air, foul off third. Peeling out of play. Two and two is the count with 2 outs. Zach Wilson is waiting to hit next if the inning were to continue. Last year, Diaz really had a great year. I mentioned his appearances at 60. He had 31 hitless appearances as well. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Had a breaking ball down and away in the dirt. Blank with the pick. And the out is recorded as Molina just started to walk off toward the third base side dugout. Back-to-back strikeouts for Diaz to end the inning. We head to the 9th. Last chance coming up for the Ducks. Cody Epley will be coming out of the bullpen looking for the save. Southern Maryland 2 and Long Island 1. This is the Legal ID Shield Southern Maryland Blue Crabs Baseball Network. Blue Crabs fans, come out to the ballpark August 2nd against Lancaster. It's Hearing Professionals, Silver Sluggers, night number 7. Free popcorn Tuesdays, presented by RC Theaters Lexington Exchange for the first 500 fans. On August 3rd, 11:05 special start time, it's Camp and Recreation Day. And on August 4th against the Barnstormers, it's National Night Out Celebration and Foster's Grill, Wings, and Beer Night. For more information, log on to somdbluecrabs.com or call 301-638-9788. Cody Epley on for the save. Top of the 9th inning. Blue Crabs are up 2-1. Epley 2-0, 2.95 ERA on the year, 15 saves in 19 attempts. Suffered the loss in his last appearance on Thursday against the Revolution as he blew the save, that 3-run lead, heading into the 9th. He recorded 2 saves on that 7-game road trip. As Epley will face Minikazi, Colvin, and Blank. Cody, 36 2/3 innings pitched, 12 earned runs, 12 walks, 24 strikeouts, opponents hitting .261. Minikazi will climb in right side, 2 hits tonight. He's got 7 hits in the series in 9 at-bats. A pair of singles, an RBI back in the 2nd. He's responsible for the only Ducks run here tonight. Game 3 of the series tomorrow. First pitch 2:05, on the air with you at 1:35 for Blue Crabs on deck. We hope that you join us then. Blue Crabs hoping that it would be the rubber match of the series. Epley, the tall, lanky right-hander, 6'5", 215 pounds. Coming set, chest high, kicks and fires. And for a strike at the knees with a fastball, good movement, that 2-seamer. Epley at times will drop down to that three-quarter arm slot and try to get hitters off balance. 0-1 is the count. The pitch on the way. Downstairs with a fastball. 1 ball and 1 strike. Colvin on deck, and then Mike Blank. Ducks coming in having won 7 of their last 8 games. The pitch. Swinging a line drive to right. Myers coming on. He stops and plays it on 1 hop. It's a base hit. Tying run is on. And Akazi going the other way with that fastball in the outer half. Ducks now with 7 hits here in the game. Tyler Colvin will come to the plate. 2-1. Blue Crabs out in front. Cody Epley is on looking for the save. Colvin the DH. 0 for 3 here in the game. Epley sets and deals. Downstairs with a fastball. And it's 1 ball and no strikes to Colvin, who I mentioned set career highs in multiple offensive categories at the major league level in 2012 with the Rockies. That was his best year. Playing a career high 136 games. Next offering outside, he hit 290 that year with the Rockies. 18 home runs, 72 RBIs, a career high 531 slugging percentage. The guy who's got pop in 1 swing of the bat. Ducks could be out in front. Slightly open stance, left side, knees bent. 2-0. Swinging a line drive, left center field. Richardson over to his left, makes a one-hand running catch in the gap. Antoine Richardson, the left fielder, with a nice play. And Epley can take a sigh of relief. A big deep breath. That was roped off the bat of Colvin. Here's Mike Blank. Minakazi scampering back to first. Blank with a single back in the second. He's 1 for 3. Right-handed hitter. Epley was an all-star this year. For the 2nd consecutive year, he pitched a 1-2-3 inning in relief. First offering. Outside with a fastball. He's in his 9th professional season, 2nd year with Southern Maryland. Outfielders deep all the way around in what is categorized as no doubles defense. Nothing over your head. Here's a 1-0. Downstairs, another fastball with good movement missing. And it is 2-0 to Blank. Matt Wessinger is waiting to hit next. Now 1 swing of the bat. The Ducks could have the lead, but 1 swing of the bat. Blank does not run all that well. A double play could end this ball game. Blue Crabs up 2-1, top of the 9th. Here's the pitch. Tipped foul at the plate. Big cut by Blank, who is drenched in sweat. That jersey is soaking wet. Ducks tonight wearing the gray jerseys, and you can really tell that gray mesh is soaked because that sweat is just searing through that jersey. And the reason you can tell is because the jersey actually gets darker. That it gets darker of a color from the gray when you're sweating that much. Blank has been catching all night in this 94-degree heat. Here's a swing and a looper out towards short. Knocked down by Garcia, who drops the baseball, steps on second, throws to first, double play. So him dropping the baseball after he leaped up about 2 feet off the ground actually helped him because the runner at first froze. That was Minakazi. Garcia picked it up about 3 feet from the second base bag, stepped on the base, threw to first, 6-3 double play, and the ball game is over. The Blue Crabs pick up the 2-1 lead, or I should say the 2-1 win here tonight at Regency Furniture Stadium, and a good win at that for Southern Maryland. For the Ducks in the 9th, no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left on. Back with the totals after this and a Blue Crabs win. This is the Legal ID Shield Southern Maryland Blue Crabs Baseball Network.
Hey, Blue Crabs fans, join us at Regency Furniture Stadium on August 5th as your Southern Maryland Blue Crabs take on the York Revolution. It'll be Salute the Troop Night presented by Chick-fil-A of Charles County and the St. Charles Companies, as well as Craft Fair Night, Beach Party Night, and a firework extravaganza presented by PNC. The very next night on August 6th, the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs continue to take on the York Revolution for Southern Maryland Library Night presented by Southern Maryland Regional Library Association. It'll also be Urgent Care Night and a jersey auction presented by the University of Maryland Charles Regional Medical Center. For more information, log online to www.somdbluecrabs.com or call 301-638-9788. Hey, Blue Crabs fans, join us at the ballpark on August 7th as your Southern Maryland Blue Crabs take on the York Revolution. It's Chick-fil-A Backfin Buddies Day number 7, Babies in Baseball, as well as pregame autograph sessions, kids play in Pinch's Playground for free, and postgame kids run the bases. After about a week off, the Blue Crabs come back to town on August 15th against the Bridgeport Bluefish for Bark in the Park presented by Perfect Pet Resort, as well as Dollar Hot Dog Night. And then on August 16th, it's Hearing Professional Silver Sluggers Day number 8, Shirt Off Your Back Clothing Drive, Thankful Tuesday, as well as free popcorn presented by RST Theaters Lexington Exchange for the first 500 fans. For more information, call 301-638-9788 or visit www.somdbluecrabs.com.
Winning tonight by the final of 2-1. Good win tonight for Southern Maryland. Minimal offense from both teams, but very good pitching. That was pretty much the story of the game. The difference was the Gary Brown solo home run in the bottom of the 7th, giving the Blue Crabs that 2-1 win. For Southern Maryland, 2 runs, 7 hits, 1 error, or rather 0 errors committed. 6 runners left on base, 3 of them in scoring position. Long Island, 1 run, 7 hits, 1 error, 7 runners left on, 3 of them in scoring position. Scott Main picked up the win tonight out of the bullpen for the Blue Crabs, his first win of the season. He is now 1-2 on the season as Main went 1 inning, striking out 1, throwing 8 pitches, and all 8 pitches in the ball game for strikes. You can hear the fireworks going off in the background. Meanwhile, the losing pitcher was Yuri De La Rosa. He gave up that solo home run to Gary Brown in the bottom of the 7th inning as he threw an inning, allowing a hit, an earned run, and striking out 1. Craig Stem with the hold. Cody Epley with his 16th save of the year, throwing an inning, giving up a hit, but that 6-3 double play ending the ball game. Eric Garcia on a line drive, dropping the baseball, but he picked it up near the bag, stepped on second, threw to first, 6-3 double play, ball game over, and that wasted, the Ducks wasted the Minikazi lead-off single to start things in the 9th. Each team scoring a run in the 2nd, but again, it was Gary Brown. His home run, his solo home run over the wall in left center, difference in tonight's game. Darrell Thompson pitched well, quality start. 6 innings, 5 hits, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts, 90 pitches thrown. Bruce Kern, the right-hander, a quality start on the other side for the Ducks. 6 innings, 6 hits, 1 run, not earned, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts. So Southern Maryland tonight, picking up the victory by the final of 2-1. The rubber match tomorrow at 2:05. The Ducks now 50-34, 10-4 in second half play. Blue Crabs 32-53, 6-10 here in second half play. The post-game wrap-up show is coming up next. We'll step aside. This is the Legal ID Shield Southern Maryland Blue Crabs Baseball Network.
ID Shield, a division of Legal Shield, continues the mission of providing identity protection to more than 1 million people in 50 states and 4 Canadian provinces. Teamed with Crow, no other company combines the expertise of the most knowledgeable identity protection specialists in the industry. The team of dedicated individuals does whatever it takes for as long as it takes to keep you and your family safe. For more information, log on to www.legalshieldassociate.com/BowareMJ or contact Marcellus and Jeanette Boware at 571-337-3588. Since 2013, over 1 billion records have been compromised right here in our great nation. ID Shield's comprehensive identity protection service monitors for all signs of criminal activity and gives you all the resources you need to keep your identity secure from fraud. For just $9.95 per month, ID Shield provides unlimited consultation, complete monitoring, and a $5 million service guarantee. For more information, contact Marcellus and Jeanette Boware at 571-337-3588 or log on to www.legalshieldassociate.com/BowareMJ.
This is Scott Snodgrass, and you're listening to the Blue Crabs Baseball Network.
Blue Crabs fans, Regency Furniture Stadium offers affordable catered luxury suites to our all-you-can-eat picnic area packages and Legends Club events. For more information, contact the group sales department at 301-638-9788 or log on to somdbluecrabs.com. Good win tonight, Sasha. Blue Crabs winning by the final of 2-1, and really the story of the game was Daryl Thompson and the pitching from really the bullpen, Avery Moore, Scott Main, Craig Stem, and then Cody Epley picking up the save in the ninth.
That's right, Jim. Thompson really came through tonight, as well as Gary Brown, who's also on a tear right now. I mean, it was a pitcher's duel for the most of the game, and Brown, again, ever since he's come back from the DL, he's just been really on a streak, on a tear.
Yeah, he a home run last night, 2-run home run. It was the only 2 runs that the Blue Crabs scored, and then tonight, his home run over the wall in left center field in the 7th inning was the difference. To me, what was really impressive again, though, was the pitching matchup tonight. I talked about it in the pregame. Daryl Thompson, a quality start, 6 innings, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts, 90 pitches. Bruce Kern, a quality start as well, 6 innings, 6 hits, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts.
Big turnaround from last night, would you say, Jim? I mean, that was just they did a 180, really.
Yeah, the pitching did, yeah, of course, with Gabby struggling last night. But I think, like I said, the big story of the game, Thompson at the run point, and he goes through these during his starts where he'll retire 8 of 9, and tonight he retired 9 straight. He'll go on streaks like that. And again, he did a very nice job. At times he struggled to throw strikes, but I think he really settled in and did a really great job.
If the Blue Crabs can play clean baseball like this every night, I really think that they'll be onto something and in the right direction for the playoffs. I mean, this was a good game.
Yeah, they've got 32 wins now in the year, 6-10 here in second half play. The Ducks are 50-34. Tomorrow's game, the rubber match of the series, 2:05 first pitch. We'll talk about it in just a second, but it's going to be, I think, in my opinion, one of the most important games here in this second half.
That's right. I mean, Long Island is definitely a tough team to beat, but I mean, we beat them tonight, so we know that it's possible.
All right, well, the Blue Crabs and the Ducks will do battle tomorrow. We will talk about that coming up next on the post-game wrap-up show as we continue. Blue Crabs winning tonight by the final of 2-1. This is the Legal ID Shield, Southern Maryland Blue Crabs Baseball Network.
Legal issues can mean trouble for anyone. No matter how much money you have, Legal Shield can help with a range of legal services. Legal Shield believes in educating and serving their members to improve their lives. Legal Shield partners with providing law firms across the United States and 4 provinces in Canada to help you with any issue you can think of. For more information, contact Marcellus and Jeanette Bower at 571-337-3588 or log on to www.legalshieldassociate.com/Bower MJ.
This is Cody Eppley, and you're listening to Blue Crabs Baseball on the Blue Crabs Baseball Network.
Looking forward to tomorrow's game. It'll be the rubber match of the series, and the Blue Crabs win here tonight by the final of 2-1. We thank you for joining us on the Legal ID Shield Southern Maryland Blue Crabs Baseball Network. Fans ID Shield provides security monitoring and complete restoration of your valuable information, protecting what is valuable to you. They monitor your credit, social security number, and also track your credit score. For more information, log on to LegalShieldAssociate.com/BowerMJ or contact Marcellus and Jeanette Bower at 571-337-3588. Yeah, so the Blue Crabs winning tonight by the final of 2-1. Post-game party on the field right now after the fireworks, but a really good game here tonight played by Southern Maryland. Good pitching, as we talked about. Daryl Thompson with a quality start, 6 innings, 6 strikeouts. Scott Main, the winning pitcher. Epley with the save. Yuri De La Rosa, the losing pitcher, out of the bullpen, giving up that go-ahead home run to Gary Brown over the wall in left center field in the bottom of the 7th. Yeah, so tomorrow it'll be game number 86 for Southern Maryland, looking to win this series. 2:05 first pitch. Will be on the air with you at 1:30 for the pregame. It'll be the left-handed pitcher Dustin Richardson, 1-0, 2.53 ERA on the hill against Brian Grenning for Southern Maryland. Richardson for Long Island, Grenning for Southern Maryland. Brian 4-4, 3.60 ERA. That'll be a fun one tomorrow. I'm looking forward to it. 2:05 first pitch. We will step aside. When we come back, we'll give you our out-of-town scoreboard segment. Blue Crabs winning tonight by the final of 2-1. This is the Legal ID Shield Southern Maryland Blue Crabs Baseball Network. Blue Crabs fans, come out to the ballpark August 17th against the Bridgeport Bluefish. It's Coors Light Can Do Wednesday. $3 Coors Light beers from 5:30 to the middle of the 5th inning. For more information, call 301-638-9788 or log on to somdbluecrabs.com.
ID Shield is the best way to protect your identity. If you become a victim of identity theft, ID Shield spends up to $5 million to do everything that it can to restore your identity. ID Shield is dedicated to your safety. Their identity specialists are focused on protecting you. They provide you with the services that walk you through all the steps to protect yourself. ID Shield monitors all of your personal information from social security numbers, credit cards, and bank accounts. ID Shield monitors everything from your passport, email, phone numbers, driver's license information, and much more. ID Shield is the only company that is partnered with Kroll, the worldwide leader in theft investigative services. ID Shield partner with Kroll protects the identities of more than 1 million people in 50 states and 4 Canadian provinces. For more information, call 571-337-3588 or log on to www.legalshieldassociate.com/BowareMJ.
Back here on the Blue Crabs post-game wrap-up show. Blue Crabs winning tonight by the final of 2-1. Each team with 7 hits, not much offense, but pitching, especially the Blue Crabs bullpen. That really was the story of tonight's game. Let's give you our out-of-town scoreboard segment, and we will start, as we always do, in the Atlantic League. The only game that's gone final is the Ducks and the Blue Crabs. Top of the 8th inning at Constellation Field. Skeeters a 4-1 lead over the Revolution. Top of the 10th inning at Harbor Yard. 4-4 the score, Bees and the Bluefish. Top of the 7th at Clipper Magazine Stadium. 4-4 the score, the Patriots and the Barnstormers. On the Major League Baseball side of things, top of the 7th inning, 3-0 Baltimore with the lead over Cleveland. Bottom of the 7th, San Diego and Washington tied at 2. Top of the 6th inning, Cincinnati a 6-1 lead over the Diamondbacks. Top 7, Milwaukee 3-1 lead over the Cubs. White Sox 2-1 lead. Top of the 3rd inning over the Tigers. That game was in a delay for a while. Top of the 7th inning, Houston 7-2 lead over the Angels. Red Sox 7-4 lead. Top of the 7th over Minnesota. Bottom of the 6th inning, Miami 6-2 lead over the Mets. Top of the 7th, Dodgers 7-2 lead over the Cardinals. Bottom of the 6th inning, Rangers a 3-1 lead over the Royals. Bottom of the 2nd inning, the game in Colorado delayed 2-1. The Rockies with the lead over the Braves. Oakland and Tampa Bay in Oakland scoreless. That game in the bottom of the 1st. Some finals from earlier today. The Mariners defeating the Blue Jays 14-5. 14 runs on 19 hits. A grand slam by Nelson Cruz, who had 7 RBIs today. The Mariners out-hitting the Blue Jays 19-8. The winning pitcher was Iwakuma, his 11th win of the year. 6 innings, 2 earned runs, 4 hits, 3 strikeouts. R.A. Dickey suffered the loss. 3 innings, 6 earned runs, 7 hits, 3 strikeouts, and 2 walks. Elsewhere, the Pirates defeated the Phillies 7-4. 12 hits today for the Phillies, out-hitting the Pirates 12-8, but the Pittsburgh Pirates with 7 runs, 8 hits, 2 errors committed. Phillies 45-54. Pirates 50-47. The winning pitcher in the game was Nicasio out of the bullpen, 8-6, 2 innings, 1 earned run, 3 hits, and 3 strikeouts. Feliz with the hold is 22nd of the year. Watson is 22nd hold of the year, each pitching an inning out of the bullpen. And Mark Melanson is 29th save of the year, 1 inning, 2 strikeouts. Aaron Nola suffered the loss, 5-9 on the year, 4 innings, 6 earned runs, 6 hits, 5 strikeouts. The Giants defeating the Yankees in 12 innings today, 2-1, each team with 9 hits. Giants 58-39, Yankees 49-48. The winning pitcher in the game was Casilla out of the bullpen, 2-3 now on the year, 2 innings, 1 strikeout, 1 walk for the Giants. Strickland his 2nd save of the year, 1 inning, 1 strikeout. Swarzak suffering the loss, 2/3 of an inning out of the bullpen for the Yankees. Williamson a home run, the 6th inning off Nova in that game. He had 2 RBIs in the game, responsible for both runs. And the Yankees in the game leaving 11 runners on base. Giants defeat the Yankees by the final of 2-1. We'll step aside. When we come back, we'll wrap things up here on the post-game wrap-up show. First, we want to tell you that Bark in the Park taking place presented by Perfect Pet Resort on August 29th. Blue Crabs take on the Somerset Patriots. It's also Dollar Dog Night. For tickets, call 301-638-9788 or log on to somdbluecrabs.com. We'll step aside, wrapping things up next on the Legal ID Shield Southern Maryland Blue Crabs Baseball Network.
Blue Crabs fans, is your brand, business, or organization looking to increase exposure and gain new and diverse consumers in this Southern Maryland market? Look no further than the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs and Regency Furniture Stadium. Our business partners are afforded unparalleled access to our consumer base of fans from attractive and potentially lucrative demographics with disposable income. Call today at 301-374-1133 for more information or to set up a consultation.
Piece of land out in the countryside, lay back and smell the sun, warm up the Georgia pie. It's so good to be taking it easy. Why would I ever leave? 'Cause I know I got some good friends that live down the street. Got a good...
This is Justin Berg. Thanks for listening to Blue Crabs Baseball. Now back to the game.
Blue Crabs fans, great seats are still available. Group tickets start as low as $10 per person. We also offer very affordable luxury suites and picnic area packages. For more information, log on to somdbluecrabs.com or call 301-638-9788.
If you can't make it to the park, you can listen to every Blue Crabs home game
on the Blue Crabs Baseball Network.
This is Jeremy Owens, manager of the Blue Crabs. Thanks for listening to Blue Crab Baseball. Now back to the game.
Blue Crabs fans, come out to the ballpark August 2nd against Lancaster. It's Hearing Professionals, Silver Sluggers, night number 7. Free popcorn Tuesdays, presented by RC Theaters Lexington Exchange for the first 500 fans. On August 3rd, 11:05 special start time, it's Camp and Recreation Day. And on August 4th against the Barnstormers, it's National Night Out Celebration and Foster's Grill, Wings, and Beer Night. For more information, log on to somdbluecrabs.com or call 301-638-9788. Wrapping things up here on the post-game wrap-up show. Blue Crabs win tonight by the final of 2-1. Don't forget we'll be on the air with you tomorrow at 1:30, 2:05 for the first pitch. It'll be the left-handed pitcher, Dustin Richardson on the mound for the Ducks. 1-0, 2.53 ERA against the right-handed pitcher Brian Grenning, 4-4, a 3.60 earned run average. We thank you for joining us here tonight on the Legal ID Shield Southern Maryland Blue Crabs Baseball Network. This has been a presentation of the Legal ID Shield Southern Maryland Blue Crabs Baseball Network. For more information, log on to somdbluecrabs.com, youtube.com for audio highlights and video highlights as well, and allinbroadcasting.com also for all of your up-to-minute and up-to-date audio clippings. Be sure to join us tomorrow. 2:05 first pitch, 1:30 for Blue Crabs on deck. Jim Tarbook is saying good night from Regency Furniture Stadium. This has been a presentation of the Legal ID Shield Southern Maryland Blue Crabs Baseball Network.
The wide, here's the payoff. Outside corner, got him looking. Strike 3, a fastball. Arceau from the belt, runner not going. The pitch is swung on, grounded to short. Lombardozzi charges. He scoops, shovels to second one. Nelson's turn. On to first is in time. A double play. The pitch. Swinging a fly ball. Off in the air to right and deep. Repko going back. He turns, looks, and it's gone. Into his motion, the payoff pitch. Fastball in there. Strike 3 called over the inside corner. Southern Maryland Blue Crabs Baseball is presented by Legal ID Shield.